No, it's cool. You're good. Not about that. I'm just trying to fix it.
Deckle, what's the highest AC you've ever achieved in any game? What's the highest one you remember? Over 45?
The highest I've ever...
Go ahead.
You first?
No, you.
I was just going to say the highest I've ever been in D&D 5e is rivaling a Tarask. I think higher AC than a Tarask.
I remember in the Vault 5th edition, I made a Warforged of the Forge Cleric, and I had a 24 AC when I had my Shield of Faith up at level 1. And the thing I loved about that was
crazy.
like, well, yeah, because like Strahd von, like the boss of Strahd has like an 18, and so it's like, fuck you, Strahd. And also, she also had a ton of HP and was, I mean, she wasn't great in melee, but she was a melee cleric that was basically just gonna fuck you up. You're not gonna be able to kill me, but I'll get you eventually.
Honestly.
That's just HP though. They're easy to hit. That's just a lot of the big fat HP pool. You hit them with crit. Doesn't even move 1%.
So Goblin, just so you know, a Trask has an AC of 25.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Forge Cleric, every like 3 levels, their natural AC goes up by 1, plus they can temporarily buff after level 4 their armor with like a +1, then a +2, like all the way up to a +5 without paying a dime. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and that's the same build I did, because also as the Warforged, if you do heavy, you start off with plate mail.
Yep, that's what I did. High five, Koala!
Yeah, it's the same build. It's so easy because it's like, oh, I can get free magical armor and plate at level 1? Sure. Why not?
There's a part where it's like a horde of bandits, and my character's just in the middle. I'm like, oh no, she's surrounded, and she's just like beating them to death with a flail. And it's just like,
yeah.
Because the entire concept was she was supposed to be like the daughter of a barkeep. Like they were just like this friendly little like elven bar that like they were elves that were supposed to be like that liked living among humans, and they owned a bar. And basically, like this demon just showed up and was like, "I'm gonna make you my bride." Like basically, I based it off like some of the edgelords that do that shit. Like when they go to the bar, where it's like, "I'm gonna get with that girl," and so I was like, and basically he just decided, like and then when she said no, he basically cursed her to slowly turn into a demon. And so basically the idea was that then that's how they figured out how to fix it. Was basically it had nothing to do with like the family was powerful and that it was literally just the adventurers in the tavern were like, but she's such a sweetie. So that was basically off like the idea that player adventurers who hear about that who might not be able to go fight a demon lord, but they'd be like, well, let's just take her soul out and put it in a warforged, and basically like then she can't turn into a demon. And so she basically was this big old thing, and like she tried to just work as the warforged, but then decided to go try to work off the debt, even though they said, we're not charging you. But she's like, I don't care. I'm going to go work it off.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, let me get my music up, and then I should be good to go. Oh, shit. My fucking stream turned off. Scuff!
No.
Strim! Come back, Strim.
Strim, please.
What episode are we on? I just realized my thing wasn't
Echo.
Echo, keeper of the episode numbers.
Echo.
This is 27. I forgot to say last session that we've been mongeesing for a year.
A whole year of mongoose.
Yep.
Mongeese.
I forget what the first one was, but probably actually over because I think we skipped discussion. It was probably more than a year at that point, even. But yeah,
It's fine.
Yes,
I was going to call it the Toth Library and Beyond, and I ended up changing the episode title to Bed Toth and Beyond.
Are we betting Toth today? That'll be fun.
oh jeez.
If I had a nickel,
It
every
wouldn't be
time I
the
met a dipshit
wouldn't be the
god.
first time we slept with a god now.
This is true.
Wow,
You
what
never
a thing
forget
to
your
open
first.
the. Oh my god.
February
I
4th.
just went live. Let's.
Let's
It
go.
was February 4th that we started Mongeese.
Anyone else out there fucking gods? Who else?
This is 18 plus. We're good.
We're fine.
You guys are being
Try to avoid
Fine.
cursing the first 10 seconds, but alright then.
Oh,
You guys are
Fuck
being,
that.
You guys are being ridiculous. First off, you have
Oh.
to wine and dine the gods first.
You're right.
You gotta be classy.
Hello everyone, we're live. I need to go post this in my Discord, but.
welcome. Oh, you know, we should get a bot to just post when we go
Uh,
live.
that costs money. I went to go do it like literally yesterday, and apparently you have to have premium on Me 6 to do it.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
turn
oh,
it
that's.
off.
I'm like, I'll just post. It's like that's fine.
Yeah. I actually really like the Me 6 bot, but I stopped using it because it got compromised a couple times.
Mm.
Yep.
So like, I just pulled it out of my Discord. I do like it though. The functionality of it's really cool.
All right. Recap. You guys made it into the Library of Toth. You also have managed to get past the sort of time trap in the front, although it seems to have jumped you forward a bit in time a bit, as it seems like the entrance is sealed by the time you came out of it, as well as the one time you saw one of the some light coming from the top. It seems to be sunlight at one part, but then moonlight in another. So you don't know if there's some time fuckery, illusions, or what have you, other than the fact that you were able to identify that it is natural light in both instances. You've found a few puzzles based around the balance of life, Toth's position as the sort of keeper of lore and helping with the final judgments. You did also go into a room with a puzzle involving a farmer and a merchant, where it seems Toth, while feeling for the lesser man, would also argue that the terms of deals should always be remembered and that evil shouldn't be allowed to flourish by basically being smart. This seems to be the viewpoint of the god. Otherwise, then, and the last room that we were in was a room with some mirrors and moonlight that seemed to illuminate invisible statues, as well as a grate, and then even a small bag of treasure in a spot that may not have anticipated you to cast the light upon. But upon casting the light there, then you did find the bag of treasure. You had just defeated a invisible stalker that was hiding in the room and fucking with your attempts and actually almost causing a couple of you to vanish.
We didn't fight the stalker yet.
Did you? Oh no, we were gonna. Oh no, you
We're
haven't.
going to
That's
fight.
where we were going to start.
Oh, it was so.
I mean,
late.
no, we beat him.
yeah,
and
it's dead. It's absolutely dead.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
absolutely,
5
yeah.
stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, guys. There's 5. Okay.
No.
Well, we actually
he had a scroll of 3 wishes on it.
the confusion is
Oh,
that
he used them on you? Okay, man.
no,
He turned
confusion-
4 of you into invisible stalkers.
No.
I
So
see.
the confusion is that
Sure.
we gained 5 levels. That's the confusion.
That's
That's where it was. Yeah, because we handled the puzzle
It's
so
Bergamot
well.
and Char versus all of you as invisible stalkers. I see. You're gonna
Listen,
kill your friends. It's terrible.
at the same time, I didn't fail any of my checks. I hardcore parkoured up an invisible statue without fail and climbed up.
Yeah,
You
you're
definitely
holding onto
didn't
the
fall on
statue
your
like-
face.
Yeah, we had 0 problems. Also,
Flawless
Greer didn't get
execution.
impaled. We actually just made it out with all of the loot.
We actually already
Alright.
beat this dungeon.
You actually just you beat the whole game. It's over. Good game,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Well done, good campaign.
Dude, happy 1 year anniversary,
We're
guys.
starting a new campaign actually tonight. It's called Your Gods Do Whatever You Want.
It's called Jummy's Jask.
New Year's.
All right, guys. Joey's Jask. We're rolling.
God.
Times for
We're using pre-made characters. Let's go.
Joey's Jask. I can't even. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's you know
That's some like high on
famous-
life shit.
the famous campaign. Jummy's Jask.
For legal obligations, I cannot say the joke I made out loud, but Goblin, you have received a DM.
No.
Okay.
Oh my, that's a sharp laugh from the
Yeah,
man.
that is a
Oh,
concerning laugh, actually.
we can't make that joke, but we will make it after we're not on air.
Okay.
DM this joke for me.
I'm just gonna type it into the Mummy's Mask Discord.
Oh no.
This is a different starting letter. It's not a problem. We're all adults here.
Yes, I can think of a
Oh,
letter.
Yeah, that might not be allowed on Twitch.
We're all adults here.
We're
Today's
all
stream
adults?
is brought to you by the letter C.
Oh no! Oh no! Fat goblin!
I didn't say anything.
I want everyone to know on the Twitch moderation chat that's his channel, not mine. Just kidding. Listen to Koala. Koala's dying over there.
I killed him.
Sorry, that broke me. Today's stream is brought to you by the letter C. That's a good bit. Fuck. All right. Cool.
Well then.
Hey guys, D&D is a fun, family-friendly game.
This is
That's why we're
100%
playing
you don't play
Pathfinder
D&D.
instead.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, you're right.
No fucking kids allowed.
100%
I
wholesome.
certainly hope not.
Oh my god. It's so funny. All right, so yeah, so recap. So we have not killed this invisible creature that we don't know the name of. We just found out it's there.
That we did.
Deckle, thanks for the resub. Appreciate you. The sub brought to you by the letter C. That's funny. It's very good.
Good laugh. God, this is so irritating. I don't know what's up with my mouse, but it's like whenever I try to do a drag selection, it doesn't select everything anymore.
Mhm.
It like it's almost like it's clicking extra or something. So annoying.
I'm actually clicking your mouse.
That does remind me.
I'm also clicking your mouse.
What are you reminded?
This is
I do have to retcon something because I realized after session I would not have been able to cast a Blade of Sphere onto Dev
Oh, okay.
because my archetype requires me to keep a special spell slotted every level, and at this level I only have one third level spell, so that means I can only have that spell slotted.
Okay.
Sorry, Deckel.
No sphere for me.
No barrier for you.
Don't worry, I'll hold on to it for you.
All right. So I guess then we're starting with initiative. You versus the Invisible Stalker. And no, not the Jummy's Jask.
Ah,
the
jeez.
alternative.
Hey, I'd play it. Just gosh, not on this streaming service.
I would
Yeah,
love to play Jummy's Jask, but it's just like a spoof version of this campaign. That'd be
Listen,
awesome.
I want to play my version, and we'll just do it on our OnlyFans.
That's a different, yes, it's a different platform entirely.
I got some campaigns that could go on OnlyFans. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah!
Hey, oh.
I'd like to use
I
a
love-
hero point to reveal the feet pics of this monster.
I'm doing.
Wow.
I'd like to roll a sleight of
Wait,
hand
that's
on the
on.
zipper.
Gosh.
You guys can't see it. I'm doing this weird fly hand thing again.
I just like to forget about it. Kind of.
So I'm definitely going last.
Hey, someone else might roll a 1, but those ones sure didn't.
Oh, I need to roll. Where's my shit? 1 second, please. I am very good at this game. Initiative.
Yeah, we were discussing that before the session. How you're an expert at sorcerer now.
Yeah, I'm the best ever. I've always been the best ever.
Actually ranked.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's world ranked.
I'm
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah,
NA.
triple diamond on the ladder.
Yeah. Number one NA. Fucking number 1 Canadian. It's crazy.
And Grillowas adds a whopping 2 to her initiative. Oh, yeah.
The hydrates, they begin.
Oh my god. You know what you need is you need the So It Begins. with the rain.
I'll take these
Indeed.
hydrates with you, buddy. I'm thirsty.
You can do it.
Also, I totally forget who this is next to me.
Mongeese. That's
Okay, gotcha.
I need to put her art. I need to get art for her, I should say, because the only ever happens
Yeah.
a face claim, and so I'm trying to keep that anything that's not Pathfinder specific. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I was gonna make some AI art of that. I need to make a mummy girl.
I'm a
I
girl.
might fiddle with. I need to fiddle with that. It's gonna be hard to get it to do that without. All right, so it looks like we're in order. Looks like a modulate does get the first one. Which that's what I was looking up. I was looking up something. What was I looking up? All right, I was gonna double check Inquisitor. I also want to change up my music a touch.
Also, hello, Katori.
Hello, Katori.
Quick shout out to Katori and the new art that they have, and how it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I've seen it.
It's very good. Do not shout out. What the fuck? Too late.
Too late.
What art are you talking about?
Katori's new model art.
Oh, that yes, the new
Yeah.
the new art. Yeah,
Nice.
It's fucking great.
is very good.
Also, I has furry art.
Yeah.
I saw, yeah.
Goblin, or yeah. I mean, Deco also has furry art. Goblin probably also has furry art and just won't show us.
Probably.
Evan, why won't you show us your furry art? Evelyn got very quiet.
No.
Me and Katori were arguing. I apologize.
Defensive motherfucker.
Me and Katori were arguing.
Yeah, we asked, why won't you show us your furry art?
Because it's private. Okay, that's why. Because it's very good. That's why. Because I paid top dollar. Just for me.
We all know it is canonical that all furries are rich.
Okay,
It
I had to double
actually
check
is
how
handy.
precisely that all worked. So she is going to study her target there. Because her
Ah.
her version of it has the Slayer instead. Especially since she can see it, it allows her to. And then she's gonna 5 foot up and take her spear and go for a stab.
Stabbing.
It's not invisible. The invisible stalker loses a good part of its its natural armor. Not subject to invisibility purge, but you can kind of see that. Okay, I see how that works. That will hit with their long spear. Battle strike, so that's gonna be 2d8. That's 8. And she's two-handing it. Yeah, she stabs into this thing for 12 damage.
Very nice.
One shot the
Oh, wait.
monster before we even get there.
Oh, I forgot the study. So the study. So that's gonna actually add 1 damage and a d6. So excuse me. So that's gonna be another 3 damage. So 15 total. This thing opens its mouth in a pain scream, but nothing comes out. Dev.
Let's see. We can see it right now, right?
Yes, you can currently see it. I had posted art in the
Fireball.
Monument Match channel, so you can see what you see.
Aha.
Aha.
Well,
You'll check the invisible stalker. It's not incorporeal. No, it's not. It's just invisible.
gotcha. In which case, Dev is gonna give him the old Kopesh to the face.
To the face.
I don't know, 16.
Still hits.
Aha.
Not terribly hard to hit without their natural armor.
I don't know if he counts as undead, so I don't know if anything else happens.
Nope.
Okay.
They are living. Sadiq.
I'm going to power attack with the Earthbreaker.
Yeah, they're actually technically air elemental outsiders.
Oh.
Yo, it's an air elemental?
Mm,
Wait.
I'll make friends with it really quick. Like, really quick.
Yeah, so power attack with an Earthbreaker. Is this creature undead or would I know?
It is not undead, but you yourself probably don't know. I just said out of character, just so I'll repeat that one. Is that it was technically an air elemental outsider.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was lost trying to. It doesn't matter.
Lost in the
power
sauce.
attack. 24 to hit
That hits.
for 11 damage.
So applied.
That's it for me.
Hobbs.
Hello, it me, that boy.
Hobbs is over here contemplating whether like to convince it to cosplay as that My Hero Invisible Girl.
Here, put on these gloves. No, I'm just gonna be smart, and I am going to cast Magic Missile.
Thump, thump.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't be able to select it for a target, but because you can see it, no problem with it.
Okay. So it is apparently 4d4 plus 8. But
Which, to its credit, is normally not even Invisibility Purge. Works on invisible stalkers.
I just misclicked. I'm really sorry. There's going to be an attack. That's not. Don't worry about that.
So you hit yourself in the face for 4 damage. So just kidding. Good thumps. Thump, 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 thump. 21, so added.
that should be everything added. I think so.
All right, we're on to Verloise.
I think
can
I was
move anywhere
smart
if you
and
like.
put all of the math included.
So Verloise is going to just kind of stride into the room behind us. She tries to get a better angle. 5, 10, 15, 20. And she can get up over here. Also try to wall it in a bit. And then you see as she just kind of holds the dagger in her hand and kind of points her fingers at it. And you see as the dagger rises up, kind of spins around, and then flies at it. So it's a returning dagger, 1 range. That's a plus 9, 10. A bad attack roll. For 24, that'll hit. And how much do their daggers deal? Still 1d4? d4 plus 2. Okay. So for 5 damage. And then comes flying back to her. As if a ghostly hand guides her dagger now. Now it's on to it. As it's getting just beat up by everybody. Just. Let's see. Let's go just pick a target for what you can reach. Wait, does it get just a 1 slam? Let's take a peek. They have 2 slams. We'll roll to see where it likes to put them, because, you know, it's just kind of there. Technically reach for the was, so we'll put her on the list too, because 5-foot step. 3 and 4. So one's going at Amadjawet, one's going at Dev. First 2 to hit it. As soon as it lunges and moves out of the beam, even in its own square, it does turn invisible, but you know where, at least where the attack's coming from. It does give a slight accuracy boost, but...
So what was that damage?
It hasn't rolled yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it. Never mind.
So to Amadjawet, 22. Ooh. Dev, 29 for confirm.
I am at 29.
Oh, no confirm. But Amadjawet's wearing a breastplate, supernatural armor, and +4 dex. So that is 4 + 5 plus. So the sanctified up, that will still hit. So 2d6 + 5. So for 10 damage on Amadjawet. It basically just lunges at both of you and then kind of dips out of sight, but then strikes into there, and then Griark.
What was the damage to me?
Oh, I didn't roll the damage to you. I'm so dumb. 10.
Okay.
10 to both of you.
Nice.
I kind of like that the die mirrors itself. It's kind of like a double-fisted attack there.
Griark is going to go over here, and then is going to pull some Arcanist bullshit. I'm going to firing through my arcane gun. I'm going to fire lightning bolts at this square, and then using my Arcanist special ability, spin arcane pull point to bend it 90 degrees into the invisible stalker.
So it literally just goes right between those two, and then
Yeah, just basically just suddenly bends 90 degrees and goes straight into it.
Curves the
Imagine-
bullet.
I just mentioned Chain Lightning from Diablo 2.
Pretty much.
My arcane gun adds 1 to the DC, and spell special adds another to it. So we're looking for a DC 19 reflex.
Does a 13 make a 19? No, I'm just kidding. It fails.
Also, you're playing a dangerous game because you just cast lightning bolt next to me, and I really want to be like, I can do that too, and just shoot it straight through.
So for 24 lightning damage.
Yeah, and even though they're an air elemental, they're not immune to lightning. So, as you do that, and it kind of goes into it, you'd see as whatever bonds make up this thing seem to. It did vanish from sight at first, but as it staggers back into the light, you'd see as it just starts to discorporate, and before it's just mist in that square.
Nice.
Pretty easily handled.
Are we still in combat?
Nope.
I mean, you can be if you want. You can start punching Dev, I guess.
No, I don't want to do that. That's sweet. No, okay.
The little floating gravestones just seem to blend back into the dress on Verloise.
That was interesting.
It's one word for it.
I guess that explains why it was moving on its own.
Griark is also going to spend another Arcanist point to prepare glitter dust.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, Amadjawet does cast a spell on herself as well, which effectively is Infernal Healing, but hers is a variant that doesn't seem to give off any evil aura. It seems instead to have a law aura. As you'd see a little... Ooh! What was that? 1 second.
And subbed.
Synth! Thank you for the resub! Boop!
Hey, Synth.
You just boop me in the nose.
Good.
Boop. Boop, boop. Synth, you are lovely. We were telling some of the stories of some of the shit, the awesome shit, and the TNT. The TNT is like the go-to synth story, I swear, and that feels so fitting, you know?
Make a thing explode.
Hope you're doing well tonight, Synth. But otherwise, yeah, you'd see a little glimmer of what seems to be like just a very rapid succession of like the, not so much the actual visage, but like the like the icon of the face of a couple different Osirian gods, and you'd see as her wounds start rehealing.
Thank you for the resub, Synth.
What you get for dinner, Sint? Do I need to ask? Is it pizza? Is it always pizza? That's the only answer. Pizza.
Burger.
We're getting pizza.
Borger.
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 It's pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Borger.
It is always pizza.
Coda. Borger. All right.
I had a burger.
At this stage, yeah, the room is a lot easier, and given that Hobbs and all were fairly capable at the climb this one, you could probably take 20 on them now. There's nothing fucking with you.
Resub, and also honk. He honked at me. He
honked
honked at cursive.
He bonked me.
So it went boot bonk honk.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a pattern here.
Yes.
Have to decode it.
Koala's gonna
He
hit the
honked-
fun
he
one,
honked your-
though.
I'm not
your
streaming,
pectoral.
so good luck, Sin.
Honk honk. I would totally keep an eye on your chat. He's probably gonna put something in there.
I'm not streaming. Do I have to open up my Twitch to make sure that he's
That would be hilarious. He's offline, still does it.
Dude, you can do that. You can post in people's chat when they're offline. It's funny as hell because especially if they have their Streamlabs open, they hear the alerts. I was gonna say I did that to one of my friends who I knew had it open because she mentioned in Discord, and I kept posting anonymous noises in the chat, and just because they were
Nice.
free. She's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Sorry about it. Just opening up my chat in another tab. Don't mind me.
Seeing the word honk actually reminded me that there's a very odd but very real thing that, like, if clowns want to copyright their style of makeup that they use, right,
Eggs.
as a clown, yeah, they paint
Eggs,
them on
yeah.
eggs. Yeah,
We
didn't
just
fucking
talked
know
about
this.
that. Oh, what was that? What was that? Was that a classified coda? Was that there that I talked about that? I remember me and Bella were talking, then Bella ended up linking up a picture from the egg gallery.
Yeah, I just found this out recently, and that, like, they're apparently incredibly valuable. Like,
Yeah, and like even like all the incarnations of the Joker, like actually, and then every mask in Dark Knight are based off the incarnations they've copyrighted for. Even those were basically like
what?
the betas of the Joker that never got used, and so they just had to use them there.
had no idea. That's insane.
All those eggs are ones that DC owns for the Joker,
That's kind of.
and they were copywritten back like when they was first written. So those aren't like new; they're old.
kind of insane.
I can tell you a fun fact, but it's more of a grisly fun fact.
Depending on how grisly, but let's go. Use your judgment.
It's not too grisly. It's just like, oh, that's weird. There's a bar in California that for the longest time had just the body of a dead clown just on display in a glass box in the bar.
Why?
You know what? I want a haunted bar.
Why did they do that?
Because the clown specifically wanted to be like buried there, and like I think like the bar was already there or something like that. I don't remember the specifics of it, but apparently if you ever took a photo of that clown, horrible shit would happen to you.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a couple things like that. If you like curse ones, like the Annabelle doll apparently is real, and like there's been some like really crazy shit, like shit that's more than a coincidence that's happened to like people who took pictures of it. It's like that's weird.
Nah, I'm all set. All right, listen, if something goes bump in the night, I'm gonna bump fire and then go back to bed. Okay. I'm all set.
Fan the
I'm all
hammer, go
set.
back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm all set.
I mean, that's what I absolutely loved in the early the first season of Supernatural when they're bitching about their dad, and then the one part where it's just like he's talking about like dad said like, or was it normal dad shouldn't let their kids be afraid of the dark, and then the brother's like, well, of course you'd be afraid of the dark. You know what lives out there? He's like, yeah, when I was a kid, like I told him that I thought something was in my closet. He handed me a 357. I was like, all right.
I love that.
At the same time, I don't blame that dad because like his wife just got like put on a ceiling and burnt alive as like a demon, like do something to his kid. It's like, dude, that
Right? You see something in the
Fair.
closet? Shoot it, son.
it might be the demon. Get it?
In fact, here's your silver bullets.
Oh, dude. All right, so this does show off one thing about Verla is that even though she wasn't immediately aware of that thing, there was the precursor, at least narrative-wise, that you saw the gravestones suddenly float up on her. Verla does as I mentioned, certain named NPCs. If you take them as leadership, you will almost always get something special on those NPCs. If they're basically, if you ever pick the canon ones rather than design your own, I usually give them something to differentiate that's of my own design. Brother Waz has one special trait. It's when danger is around that is about to come into combat. It's basically a moment of fate. That basically the gravestones are not tied to her knowing something's there. They just float up. It basically means that combat's coming.
Oh boy.
It is an elvish blade.
She's
It'll
gonna
turn
use that to
blue.
fuck with us at some point.
Oh, for
I mean, yeah, she can will them to float up too, so there is that. But right, just wait for her to become more chaotic. It'll be fine.
right.
Someone teach her the glories of that are Fey mischief, and suddenly she's just Fey, you say.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Magram's over here just eye twitching. You're wearing my symbol, young lady.
It
You're
is
not my
a blade
real
of-
dad.
It's a blade of elvish make. It'll glow blue when orcs are nearby.
Dude, that shit's awesome. I love that. Because I love that when you had the dwarven blade in Zork, they did the same thing.
You know, back home we have Fae
Is this
everywhere.
blade
I mean,
racist?
Kind of. But it's
I think one of the
accepted.
funniest I have a book that it was supposed to be the not so useful magic items is how they call it, and all of them kind of self defeat themselves. It's like one of my favorite is like just an amulet of magic detection. It gives you detect magic at will, and it shows you the nearest magical item.
Just
Fancy with
always,
the am-
always the amulet.
And it's just I'm magic, and just then oh no, fuck you.
ah, yes, and you give it. You clearly have to give that one a voice, so it just tells you.
And then
Fuck.
make sure you can't turn it off.
Fox did a similar thing. She had a wand of magic detection, and it just constantly glowed when you picked it up because it detected itself.
Yes,
Good job, Juan.
Magic still exists. Well, you know what? It has one use. It tells you you're not in an anti-magic field.
I was like, so it's a flashlight.
It has two uses.
It has two uses.
Checkmate.
Checkmate, atheist. It has two uses.
Just love the atheists. Just that what?
Yeah,
Checkmate, atheist.
it's my favorite fucking.
No, it felt right. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I've heard that too. Like, just that, even though it has nothing to do with. Wonderful.
All right. I wish to climb the statue.
Yeah, like I said, you can take 20 at this point since there's nothing threatening you. You're pretty much guaranteed.
Charcoal
Now you
cushion
get-
is full.
Dude, not to derail too much, but I've been listening to RPG horror stories, and one was literally how some guy not only said it, but then defended it and tried to tell a girl that she was wrong. That basically her character shouldn't have to roll for fall damage because her breast would cushion her fall.
That's not how breasts work.
Yeah, but, like,
I would argue that it would hurt worse.
Yeah, that's like it's like there's nerves, and that's not how breasts work. What the fuck are you thinking?
Someone
Right?
should have made the counter argument that he should also not roll for fall damage because of the size of his balls for saying that.
Apparently, it was a 20-minute discussion as he tried to argue his point and be
20
right.
minutes?
Mhm.
No, don't die on that hill, bud. 20 minutes? There's so many better hills.
I love the top comment on that section where they talked about it was literally them talking about like by that logic, all men should be one-shottable. Exactly.
Yeah,
how-
honestly. Get him right in the scrot. It's a game. It's game over.
I'm gonna make a magic item that is a chest plate of feather falling. And so the only way that it works is if you belly flop to the ground.
Oh my god. It's so dumb.
No, my model isn't
Are-
broken. I'm staring at you.
I already have one. I had one player in my old live group before Sylvan and Zephys put that in perspective. That literally made a dwarven magic item crafter, and his whole goal was just make a bunch of magic items since he knew I wrote them all down and put them in a book so that other people could find them, and he wanted to make the most ridiculous shit ever. Pretty good.
It's pretty great. Yeah, I have nothing to add here, though. I'm just kind of surveying the room while Hobbs is
Yeah.
climbing that.
So you get to the
Eh.
nice. Thank you for. I love the Foley. Let's go.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Big wolf.
Oof.
All right, so you get up to the grate, and as you guys saw that at this stage, the big mystery of it just seems to be as you have the. I mean, I assume you let him climb it while the statue is visible, not making him climb an invisible one.
Yeah, for sure.
They just turn it off.
I do consider turning the mirror a few times.
Just strobe light.
Just imagine. We have the light switch installed for you, so you could turn the light switch on and off. Not so you could throw light switch rays.
Hobbs, you need to roll a luck check to see if you have epilepsy.
Yeah, I was about to say roll for seizure.
It's like an undiscovered condition.
Anyways, yeah, the grate seems to be locked.
That's a thing.
Invisible Soccer didn't really have space for gear, so
What's
not
the
really
thing?
on him.
It's locked.
Oh, I mean, I can take care of that.
Can you climb this?
I don't really need to.
Oh,
Just point at it.
okay. I point at it.
Where's the lock
I
at?
will aim it where they're pointing. I'll cast
Oh
knock.
shit! Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna shoot it. I was like, wait.
Just aim the rifle. Boom.
I also thought you were just gonna shoot it straight up.
Just a lightning bolt. I'll get the lock. Boom.
I was like, wow, that's very efficient lockpicking. That's crazy.
My first thought was you're gonna climb up with lockpicking tools, and you're like, oh, I don't need to climb, and I was like, wait, why? And then it's like, oh no.
Just
I'm just gets frightened and let go. Let's go and falls again.
So, an interesting thing does occur.
yes.
As you cast that, and so at first nothing directly occurs, and it doesn't seem to open the gate, but it does to a degree. As you see, as both of the mirrors suddenly turn into their red position, as they both turn there, and then Hobbs, you being that close, you can hear the sliding of metal. But it looks like the illusionary wall has gone back up. Basically, this thing seems to open, but only when it's not visible.
Oh.
Oh.
Get your arm in
That
the
was-
mystery hole.
Because Sarik did feel something when he walked close to it when
Yeah,
they
buddy.
were invisible. And there's one part when you guys moved one that you felt something change, but you didn't know what it was.
Yes, that makes sense.
Just reach on in there. See what you find.
Yeah.
Is
you
it squishy?
you know what they say? Love is elbow deep. I'm gonna stick my arm in the mystery hole.
That is what they say. I've heard that.
Indy,
seems
it's
to be a-
moving.
Indy! Oh god, I couldn't stand that girl.
In related news, chat, there's a new Indiana Jones movie that got announced.
Oh my, yeah, I heard about that. All right, so you stick it in. It seems to be about 5 foot wide, perfectly square. You feel stone. You can feel the bottom of the grate that feels a little sharp. You hope it doesn't suddenly start closing.
Interesting.
Stone. You
It's a
feel
good portcullis
stone.
gate.
You're saying we shouldn't turn the mirrors back on that.
Probably not a good idea. We have half a Hobbs.
No, just missing an arm or a hand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna see if I can stick my head in the mystery hole.
As soon as
Please
you
do not decapitate me.
As soon as you do, you would see what looks like statues waiting ahead as it goes in about 5 feet. And we'll just open up to this point. And they seem to be kind of waiting there. Looks like another. Let's see if there's any official descriptors of. Yeah, one has the head of a bird, one of a baboon, and the other the head of a man.
Guys, there's some statues in the mystery hole.
How big is the mystery hole?
It's like what, 5 feet by 5? Like, you said like a 5 foot square, right?
Yeah, it's a 5 foot square horizontal.
Why do I have the feeling we have to go through there?
We probably do.
I mean, that would make sense. Yes.
Can I like climb? Also, I don't know if I'm imagining this wrong. This mystery hole is on the ceiling, right?
No, the mystery hole's in the wall, Basically, like
Ah,
it's
gotcha.
here, like literally on the map. It is right. Oh, that's not gonna draw. Did that draw? That didn't really draw.
Okay, I don't know.
Get the
I
idea,
don't know.
though.
I don't know why, but like in my brain, I thought it was like above the statue.
It is. It's above, but in the wall. It's set into the wall.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, can I
It's
like
literally Legends of the Hidden Temple crawl space.
Gotcha. Can I stick my legs in the mystery hole and like reach my arm out in case anyone needs help?
Yeah.
Like climb it up.
We see
Could
half
just
a hub
use
sticking
a
out.
rope.
I do have rope, probably. I wish not to be decapitated.
Yeah, you
mean,
can
it's
toss the rope
pro-
down.
It's probably a good thing that we made sure we killed the invisible thing that would definitely move that mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hey guys, check out.
Yeah, right. Hey, I made it in. Oops.
Yeah, it literally gives me that it tries to do it as soon as you start climbing. Because otherwise, yeah, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, that'd be an easy way to take someone out, probably.
Yeah, I have 50 feet of hempen rope. I will toss it down the other side, and I will say, "Let us people first, please. I am not very strong."
All
I'll
right,
go
Char,
last.
go first.
Yeah,
Huh?
how
I
is
just-
Char gonna get through there?
Char's gonna play tug of war with me,
Char's,
and I'm going
Char's
to
large,
lose.
long. They're technically 5 feet wide.
Okay,
Yes,
got
the trick is getting them to climb
Getting
the
them
invisible
up.
statue.
Come here,
You're gonna
boy.
have to, like I just imagine some sort of like dog harness, their legs sticking out, and just arf. Like,
If I did-
like a rope and pulley system.
Actually, he might be able to
anyone
make the jump. I don't know.
Does anyone have peanut butter?
Vertical jumps are very hard, Deckel.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's three times the distance traveled vertically, and that's just the setting DC, and then you don't get a minus 10 penalty if you have a running start. And so it's like, so it's basically like you're looking at for a 20-foot tall statue, a 60. Like, Char's not making that.
Yeah, fair.
Unfortunately, I can make him larger. I can't make him smaller.
Char is now Clifford.
Honestly. Except he can fit through there, actually, so it'll be alright. If we can get him up there.
Just climb with a face full of dog butt, you know? Just
Devil just have to be on the other side to make sure that he goes through.
this is why you need like the shrink companion items. Where it's just you are now a hand-sized dog. Yeah. I'd say you can still take 20 on everyone. The only one I would say that I would like the rolls for is Char, because that's the only one that feels complicated.
At that side, like part, we could probably like have everyone on the other side. Be like, Char, we're gonna play tug of war. Yeah,
He
exactly.
starts pulling everyone across the way because he has a
We all
freaking 25
lose.
strength.
He just pulls you all back down. It's like everyone looks at Hobbs like, really?
It was worth a try. I'm sorry.
Hobbs is happily wagging his tail. Thematically, like, I want to say that happened just because that sounds adorable.
Wait, Hobbs is happily wagging his tail.
Or,
Yeah, you've swapped. You've swapped now.
Char is happily wagging his tail.
I mean, my hair is long enough. I happily wag my hair.
In response, speak in wagging. And Char's like,
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
Okay, this time, let us win.
yeah.
You just censor the dog. No. Have you ever tried to take something from a dog? No, that's no. Playful.
Look, there's treats in here.
Yes.
That's why I said, does anyone have peanut butter? Just-
Char's over there. Just... Depending on which one you gave it to, but between the dogs that my family has had, like their reaction was wholly different. I loved it. Like some it's just the eternal licking. Other ones it's like they're like it looks like they're gnashing their teeth. Like all right.
Time to get through this hole.
Yes, you're all probably squeezed up in that 5-foot square. It's about on the next level. It's not flush with the floor here. It seems to be, but it does go higher for a second, which is kind of interesting. But it's only about a 10-foot drop, so not terribly large from the hole there.
Hey, Mr. Consents Traps. Is there any traps directly below us?
Am I already in the...
We're
Okay,
going
be where you want.
spelunking.
You're taking 20. Whoever wants to be below Char, helping push the dog up. I'd say probably 1 or 2. You would probably have to be below him. And also, that is only a 5-foot square up there, so you'd be kind of stacked up unless you want to drop down into the room with the ominous-looking statues. They do have some hieroglyphics on them.
This seems like a terrible idea to drop
Considering I do have stone sense, it's probably best if I climb up there ahead of people and then drop down.
Yes. So place yourself in the teal square.
Hi, bud.
Hello. And then I'll go ahead and do I get the sense of anything in the squares ahead of me?
Yes.
I'm a twink.
can
We
number-
can fit here together.
You can number one feel to you what would feel like. Let's see, how would a dwarf see it? I don't think they'd be like special, but really fine stone. I guess however you want to flavor that for your character. Like it feels like the finest of sands and stone have been coalesced into those statues in a way that is, like to you, beyond perfection of quality. Their carving is not utterly so, but it's more just the amount they found there is rather staggering to the point that you know there's something about those, like those statues seem beyond special, which just kind of puts you on edge that there's something going on with those. They do have hieroglyphics across each of their chests, but
okay. I don't know exactly what's going on in the room ahead, but these statues are unique. They seem to be incredibly high quality, and I don't know how else to describe it, but we should be very careful whenever we go into the next room.
Okay.
you can see that there's from where you are, you recognize that one is marked with knowledge and runes as its basically primary domains, as it's representing Toth in his main aspect with the head of an ibis holding the scroll. One is marked with the runes of darkness and magic, and it seems to be the human man with the ornate ceremonial headdress topped with the crescent moon, and it's holding a mirror. And then the last one is a baboon holding scales, which is supposed to be its knowledge and law. But all of them are wielding sickles in their main hand.
Well, we need to be careful, but we also need to get everybody through this passageway. And that means I need to not be up here.
You do see as well on the ground there, because you do speak Ancient Osirian, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you're looking at all also removed, you can see there's a hole behind them. That looks like where the next room is. There seems to be some sort of hole back there. But otherwise, you also see that on the ground, it simply says, those that are of the chosen can apply freely, but may not always pass. Those or strangers seeking knowledge may apply freely, but know the cost is great of failure. It seems to be the meaning behind them.
Well, judgment or no, it doesn't seem like it's going to immediately kill us, and I've jumped into rooms on less, to be completely frank.
Don't forget, you also have Amajawet, who is a kind of not Osirian expert, but she's lived it. She understands their religion.
Yeah, she was very helpful earlier because basically, like you said, like this was last week to her.
Yeah, the issue is that we're in a 5-foot square, so I feel like I shouldn't occupy this space anymore.
Yeah, probably have Amajawet going next.
Yeah, I'd probably call for her to come up here, and then I will drop down into the room.
Drop down right here. Okay.
Like right there.
Yeah, she's probably helping below, and then goes to climb up past Char. But as she's climbing, and as soon as you drop in, each of them seems to move a little bit as they shift forward, and they all begin to speak in unison. Not all at the same time, but so each of them asks a trio of questions. One says, where should we search in the dark of the night? The second says, what shields us from chaos's gaping maw? And what do you seek, and why have you come? And I'm going to give one roll to Amajawet, because she might... First, I got to see if she hears it, but... Oh, no.
Guess she doesn't.
You just hear what's going on from her, but...
I mean, you know...
You can give me a linguistics check, Anyone who I'd say anyone else. I was just rolling for her just because NPCs I usually.
Linguistics. I think I have a decent one of those. It's not the best. But...
It's not a terribly hard one since normally that's just to understand the meaning.
Wait, does it have to
But-
be trained or no?
No.
Oh, you said linguistics?
Yes.
$26.
Griark and Dev, you are certain of the one thing in the way that let's see if either of you is up there thematically. But you'd be certain that number one, they're looking for something that not only the proper answer, maybe not perfectly worded, but it does need to they're effectively giving a bit of prose, a bit of poem. And the answer not only likely rhymes with it, but probably has to, because it's definitely it's a Osirian ritual riddle, as it's known. So you know that does help you find the answer, but also basically your last word does have to rhyme. Otherwise, then the final one, anyone who understands the meaning or the language can give me a knowledge religion check. I actually need 3, so I'd say I'll start with you, Sari, because you might. I will say that's if your character wants to know that will help you glean the answer. So if you want to figure it out yourself, don't roll.
I would like some help because I should. These guys have, they're big old crazy statues. You said knowledge religion?
Yes, knowledge religion, 1 for each one.
So 19. It's 22.
Damn. All right, man.
There's a 25.
Save some low rolls for the rest of us. Or high rolls, high rolls for the rest of us. God damn you! What?
Yeah.
So 34, 32, 33.
Okay, literally can't roll higher. Not going to try.
Literally at that point, Griark, because you've beaten 2 of them by 5 and the other one by 3. You've heard these before. You know they're part of the Toth. They're part of like the Toth prayers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
drink
just-
Snapple. It's fine. It's on the Snapple fact.
I've specialized in religion and in history.
And this is so applicable to you anyway, so it's like, all right. So I'm gonna send this to you, and then you can feel free to. Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool. That is wonderful. I like that second one.
Face is a little wonky, but yeah.
A little bit, but I mean, for a token, it wouldn't be seen.
True, true.
But you know that, like, you've literally heard this word for word.
Do I think I need to be in the other room, or can I just yell them from here?
You could probably shout it, but you know that Sarika's gonna have to say them because the fact that he stepped in, like you've heard of this. Pretty much every library that Toth guards, and this is supposed to be the legendary one. This is where the riddle started. That's literally like this is the key. This means that beyond this is probably the library.
Gotcha.
'Cause
I
the
was-
key isn't a key; it's just knowledge.
Gotcha. I'll yell up to Streak. The first one is cast your gaze to the moon's bright light.
I'll point to the first one. Cast your gaze to the moon's bright light.
That one lowers its sickle.
Toth's great gift, unwavering law.
Okay, I'll point to the second one. Toss great gift, unwavering law.
Yeah, the baboon lowers its sickle.
Okay, and I'll point to the last one.
I search for knowledge to increase my wisdom.
I search for knowledge to increase my wisdom.
Yeah, into which the last one opens, and then as the middle one vanishes, the monkey just moves, seems to disappear from all sight, whereas the other two turns to basically let it pass. You see as the
Thank
monkey seems to
you.
appear in the wall. Yeah, there's just a powerful aura in these things. When you go to pass past them, you can feel that they're radiating. Out of character, those are mythic. They're mythic Graven Guardians. They
Oh,
would've
that's fun. Level
they would've-
7 versus Mythic.
Yeah, they would have kicked your shit in.
Okay. So like, is this one still here?
The
no.
middle one's gone. The other two aren't.
Okay.
The middle one basically vanishes and reappears in the wall behind the hole.
Right. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of occupy the space it was in and just kind of keep an eye
Sariki
on the
dead
room.
yet?
No, I'm still alive. Still very much alive.
You sure?
You see
Yeah.
behind this one, there's a little glimmer of you see that cat like visage seems to be watching, and as soon as you make eye contact, it begins to shimmer away. But you'd see the little bit of energy seems to wisp ahead of you down the hole.
Noted. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold this room down in case something comes up that ladder. And
Cool.
Just kind of wait for my party.
I'm gonna hop down on the other side.
Gonna help Dev up.
All right. Get up here. I'll try to help Char into the hole from if you can help from down there.
Yeah, I'd say this rather than make it rolls, because I mean that's really just a small amount of energy and just eats a small amount of resources. I'm not too worried about it. So it's like it's probably annoying. You know what I mean? It's just it takes some.
It's getting your
Char's
dog
trying to
up the
help,
stairs.
but it's dog paws. They're not made to climb.
Why
Yep.
can't Char be a
Fiery
cat?
dog paws.
Cats are liquid. They'd be able to fit through that square.
The cat would literally just like leap up it like, oh, you fucking
Yeah.
plebes.
You're saying I should have got a fox. They can climb.
Yeah.
That is a dog made out of cat. That is correct.
That is a good way to describe a podcast. A
A dog made out of cat is too good.
Too fitting. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Help
this dog-
help V and Imadroid up as well.
This dog made out of cat is brought to you by the letter C.
Yeah, I think once the whole party gets in, then again think Griark, and then I don't know. I guess we'll.
Yes. Thanks for the not dying password.
I appreciate that. Quite a bit.
As
That's my
part-
pleasure.
You nerd.
Kriark, as part of your knowledge and nerddom, you would know that, yeah, if the library is beyond there, and since everything else seems to have lined up with things that you've read at this stage, you know that basically the one big thing you'd want to warn everyone is do not touch a single book or scroll until you've at least made a slight. You have to basically make a slight prayer to Toth and thank them, since it proves that their power. Since these statues are alive and there's supposed to be a divine connection to his power, it shows that that God's still active. I mean, you've been told they are, but you haven't seen.
Didn't I got some sort of necklace off a priest. Was that a holy symbol or was that something else?
It was a holy symbol, yeah. It does have.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that out. I'm gonna just like walking towards Hob and like making eye contact. All right, so none of us should touch anything down there until we give proper respect to Toth.
Why are you looking at me?
You
I
you
don't
want to do
know.
it inside of the knowledge, but do not touch it. I.e., once you get in the room, make sure you do it. But because as part of that.
I would never touch anything without permission.
I feel like that's not true.
Is that a deception check?
Performance, no disguise, no.
Okay, so we need to. You said we need to make sure we do that prayer when we enter, or just before we grab stuff.
Before you touch any books, while you're in the library itself, basically, once you go down there and you're within view of it, very likely.
So make
you should
sure that I'm
probably-
not just gonna walk down this ladder and then just be like, "Oh, hey, you have to pray right now," or these mythic statues are gonna come back.
No, it's basically once you're down there, you just make sure you do that before you touch any of this stuff. It's kind of the whole don't let a boo touch the.
Yeah. Okay.
Trips,
I'm
falls,
just
hits,
thinking about that.
trips, falls, hits a bookcase that knocks over another bookcase that knocks over another bookcase, and just everyone in the room is staring at me.
Technically, you touch the bookcase. It's fine.
Char finds a book made of milk bones.
Instead of human flesh, it's milk bone. You know.
As you would. Like,
Yeah, like they used to do.
Obviously, in
ancient
an ancient enchanted library, of course it's there. Why wouldn't it be there? It's stupid. All right. I guess. I guess I'll go down the ladder first. I mean, right? Or are we still worried about traps? Does someone else want to go first, or what?
It's fine. How far down does it go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
If you peer over the edge, it goes none of your dark vision goes far enough to see it. So that is a hell of a
okay.
drop.
Okay,
is-
so we need to hook up the ropes and help the wolf down again.
I mean, it's got a ladder, yeah. But
Yeah, the wolves are not known for their ladder using skills.
I don't know. I've seen a dog climb a ladder before.
I mean, you could feather fall and just let him drop. But I mean, it's a little. You might want to find out how deep it is first, because if it's over 500 feet, that's not going to last long enough.
It's okay. I'll figure out how far it is. Just jumps down.
Let's see. to see if we have anything that would like be helpful. I don't exactly want to drop a whole ass torch down there. I wish we had like a
Just drop a torch into a hidden library.
torch
Yeah.
to a hidden library. No, I wish we
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Like I
wish we
said,
had, like,
Oh, made of parchment, ancient parchment, and like
Papyrus.
dry,
like I said, I'll go first. I am the human torch. It'll be fine.
It's just dropping a torch down there with more steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I was getting at is like I really wish that like fucking glow lights or glow sticks were a thing in this
They are a
server.
thing.
They are.
Track
They're
what
called
is
sun
dropping.
rods.
I didn't know.
and they're basically it's a rod with a little gold on the front, and then you basically just spark it against either like a wall or stone, and then it turns into basically a really bright flashlight, and then you can also set it to basically just make a radius.
Noted. I'm gonna buy some of those and never get back to town.
Yeah, they're fairly cheap. Alchemists can make them too.
Surprised I don't have one on me actually.
I usually have them just because like things that are weak to bright light, it's not even a roll. You just because it illuminates a 10-foot beam, and it's like you just point it at somebody who has like light blindness, and like they're fucked if they don't have like penumbra.
Let's tell you what. I'll
Like motherfucker.
I know that my dark vision is 60, right? 60 feet, and if we can get, so we already know it's more than 60 feet. So I'll tie off 2 links of rope like together, one around my waist, then one to the top of the ladder, I guess. So 100 feet, and then just start descending because we don't have anything that we can safely toss down there. So if it gets to be 100 feet, and if it's not long enough, then okay. Then I'm just gonna keep climbing down.
It turns out to be 120 feet, so it does take some time, but you can. It sounds like you guys have the materials. I mean, you did, and I mean, even in the worst case, like on your, well, you can't get out is the problem. But I know on your camel you had a crane set up, but
Yeah, that's still on Theodore.
I mean, I have a
Oh,
net
this
and
don't
a
carry
rope.
that around every time.
We do have rope. I think I'd climb back up a little bit and attach a 3rd section of rope to those. So that's, 150 feet of rope. Then give it a. Well, we can give it a talk. Can you guys hear me from that far? I don't know how far.
yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'd call out and say, yeah, I'm at the bottom. And then say we might want to try and get Char down.
All right. Anyone have Featherfall?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Actually, 1 second.
So I actually think Hobbs might have taken Featherfall at some point.
He
Let
keeps
me look.
mentioning it.
Because I know he's brought it up a few other sessions.
I
He's like,
have Featherfall. Let's
"That's
go.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
Get in the hole, pupper.
It's okay, Char.
This is just my ultimate ploy to kill Char. I just don't cast Featherfall.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, that was one of the stories I read where someone like this dwarf had a pet pig, and as he went to climb down a cliff, he basically like he saw that someone in the party literally shoved his pig over the edge because his last words were, "If something happens to me, take care of my pig," and then like someone else in the party's like, he pushes pig off the cliff, so he climbs up and pushes the wizard off the cliff.
What the fuck?
Deserved. Okay, but yeah, I will cast Featherfall on Char. I'm not that much of a monster.
So how to turn your party into a bunch of John Wicks versus you.
Yeah, like that'd be the fastest way to kill off.
If I was anyone else in the party, I'd be like, "So, can I just stab in the neck, or what do I do here?"
What's kind of the deal?
Yeah, it's just like, hey, look, Dev, I just killed your dog in front of you.
Yeah, how to die 101.
Yeah. What's that sword for? You don't need that.
But yeah, so you Featherfall on Char.
Yeah,
and then
I
you come
Featherfall on Char.
to my
Okay.
expecting arms.
And he set down the massive doggo.
Floof.
All right, he has big ball of loof.
Yeah, you just slowly get consumed by floof.
You know what? I'm just gonna use it.
Consumed by the floof.
Let's see, maybe I can just type in this.
Let me get Char one of those items that lets them talk.
Do you want to know what he has to say about you?
I'm sure Char loves me.
Oh, fair.
He's just really insistent and always wants to ask about like, what did you just have for dinner? It smells good. I want to know. Bring me some. Just like it's like, oh shit. wouldn't be him, but it's...
That sorcerer thinks he's the one with the fire.
You merely
It's
adopted the
fine.
flame.
Creative.
I was born to it.
Yo,
Oh,
look
God.
at the tiefling.
Oh god, it's
Hello.
huge! It's huge!
It's
No.
a
I'm
huge
being-
Kit Kat.
I'm being raided.
Huge.
There's
No.
a large cat.
No, I moved it over the edge of the map. I can't grab it. No, no.
It's got over the edge.
Gone forever.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna greet these raiders.
Raiders.
Oh, that was much easier. Okay.
Hello, Nikki. Thank you for the resub. Love you.
Also, why is this not on the map layer? God damn. I had the whole map on the token layer like a dum-dum. Go away, grid. Alright,
Gabriel,
yes,
thank
you
you so
got-
much for the sub. I appreciate you.
you all can just easily move your thing down there. This isn't supposed to be a skill check. This is literally just a scary tunnel and you go down it. As soon as the first of you sets foot down here, that you see as it's pitch black in here, but as soon as you set foot, suddenly a bunch of well ensconced, well, effectively torches that just seem to illuminate with flame, safely kept away from the areas, but illuminating it quite well. You can see as the ghostly cat seems to be there waiting, as well as you see these four lumen. They seem to be the same kind of statues, but these ones are all of Anubis. They just seem to be waiting for you in there.
Interesting.
Oh, hi.
A massive underground chamber, row after row after row of bookshelves, each nearly 40 feet high, stretches off into the distance further than your dark vision can see. Each shelf is packed with scrolls, tablets, even a few books. A few tables and chairs are interspersed between the shelves at various points, providing convenient little places and nooks to read. And
Greetings.
you'd see as the kind of ghostly one that you've seen steps forward and just seems to kind of quickly comes over just to greetings, congratulations for making it so far and through all the tests so properly. It's been some time. Is there anything I can help you with, or is there something you're looking to learn?
We do have one in particular that we're trying to find out about.
Well,
Quite nice to meet our host.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to
am
meet
you-
you.
she gives a bit of a bow. You are too kind, but I am not per se your host, just merely another servant.
I bow back.
Well, welcome. I am Dev.
Yes, and I'm Sarik. That adorable dog. And then that is Griark and Hobbs.
I slowly lean over to Griar. Is it impolite to say that she's hot?
You're not gonna listen to what I say, anyways.
Good answer.
And then,
I bow.
Majuet and V coming down, I suppose.
Yeah, are they already down here?
Yeah, you could say that she seemed to wait till you all came down. She was well
Oh,
aware.
okay.
She's well aware of how many of you're numbered. I'm having issues dragging right now because my mouse is finicky.
Mine's
Was
doing
she-
that today too again.
Was she impressed by the giant fluffy dog coming down the hill?
And she's when you introduce a dog, she doesn't seem to have any aversion to it like you'd see most. I mean, at the same time, she seems to have some sort of level of undead about her as well. You don't quite know what's going on, but in any case, she's just I'm Dura. It is a pleasure. She does seem to bear, although she does bear heavy Osirian iconography. You can give me knowledge local #1 for a little bit of side detail, but also she does seem a bit off kilter from the rest of what you've seen down here.
Knowledge local.
Not trained.
Not trained.
You still can get up to 15s.
Sure. Why not? Roll the dice is fun. Do
No.
it for the kids.
That's a cat folk.
Uh,
That's what you know. That's a cat folk. That sounds like a cat folk name.
Some kind of catman.
That's a cat.
Griark. Griark. Dev, you'd recognize that. The garb and stuff doesn't match per se, but nothing outright so. Griark again with the good knowledge. Go you. you would be able to recognize that Dura is, especially with the inflection, that's a Sargavian name. That doesn't really match for especially this ancient Osarian one, but there's probably a story there at least. But at the same time, she's very heavily adorned with Osarian iconography.
So what's a Sargavian doing in a Siren ancient library?
To that, she kind of smiles a bit, but otherwise, but you can see a guilty look pass her on her face. But I suppose that is a question. You're only the first to actually ask it since I've arrived. But I am both honored and also cursed in a way. I am among a group of thieves that made our way in here and bypassed almost all of it. However, we did not pay the right tribute, and rather than I bartered with my life and my service when the guardians, as she gestures to the statues near her, made fit to punish us. And as much as we may have bypassed the traps, the will of Toth was greater than our strength. And so, I have served beyond my death.
Yeah, you gotta be careful when doing that. You end up on the hook for a really long time.
Toth said I can leave when I feel my penance is done.
Hey, Cursive, whenever you get a second, not trying to derail, whenever you get a second, could you check your DM?
Let me look. Quite possibly. I mean, that's something that I would say, in the terms of one of the other roleplay groups I talked with. I'd say the proper answer is find out in character. Because that's a good question to ask her. It might be a little old for that one, just given the time frame of it, but you don't know. Maybe they do. You could ask for more about the purpose. This is a very odd library for, if it is here for others to access, it's really well defended, like more so than any of the tombs you faced so far.
God damn, I had a really bad thought that someone whispered to Hobbs, like, there's always a risk you would hear me.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always
Whisper
try
it.
to bluff it, or, live your best life, dude.
Just,
I ain't gonna pitch.
just lean over to Hobbs, whisper really close in your ear, Gussie.
Wow. And you were afraid of the letter C.
This stream brought to you by the letter C. Someone rename their stream.
Dude, it won't die.
Clearly, you just need to start and just literally title it "This stream brought to you by the letter C."
Don't fucking tempt me. I'll start right now.
Start streaming halfway through the session.
I'll fucking do it. I'm
We just
I'm
devote-
Streamlabs.
Yeah, Koala doesn't stream, but we just have Koala stream all the stuff we don't want to have on our streams.
Give me a second. I'm booting up Streamlabs. Do you think I'm not?
Oh my god.
I ain't gonna post any
What are we-
announcements.
What are we actually here for again? What's the
The creepy mask. Find out what the fuck's up with the creepy mask.
And it was mentioned that they might not have any info, but it was a grand library. It may be useful to you.
Yes. Otherwise, if anyone has any questions, I suppose.
Yeah, she walks forward and kind of splays her arms and just simply see. I figured there may be a day that I walk away from this place, and I don't know if my life would be returned to me or not. But in any case,
Would you
whatever
like
you're
it?
looking for. She kind of looks back over her shoulder to see. I don't know if how much the seas of sands have changed. I don't know if there's a thing I would recognize. But at the same time, there's little more good I can do.
We have a mask that we need to identify, or at least, I guess not identify, but we need to learn more about it. And I have something I could use your help with, but I would like to take care of this mask first.
Yeah, Dev has a mask because I can't be trusted with it.
You would put it on immediately. That's exactly why that's exactly why Dev has the mask.
Amantua just kind of lightly scratches behind your ear, just kind of, or not ear, behind the eye, just kind of like a. You can tell that she's very not concerned about the exact same, but definitely kind of that'd be bad, considering especially kind of rent her will from her.
Look, to be fair, I'm not the one. But both of you said it before me.
Yes, Dev will remove it from her haversack and show it.
I wish I could say I would recognize it, but I am not quite the scholar that Toth is. Still, I've spent some fair time looking over these things.
By the way, your friends there, those it's 4 statues, right? These are like the guardians
Correct.
or whatever.
Yes.
Do we need to pay any kind of respects, or are they just here to make sure we don't steal, or
Both. I do hope you. It is not my place to directly tell you, but I do hope you know the proper tribute. Which Griark told you is just literally a prayer. Like, you don't even. It's not even a set prayer. It's just. But
Mhm.
it seems like she's forbidden from teaching you it directly.
That makes sense.
okay? Just making sure I'm not going to like blunder into aggroing 4 statues. That's all.
I would say just watch your step. Don't damage the books themselves intentionally nor accidentally. It's in the course of use. It's expected, and we will try to maintain what we can. But if you were to say stumble and fall in between the bookshelves, there may be maybe not total repercussion, but certainly a repercussion all the same.
Kind of slowly turn my head to Hobbs.
Oh,
I just
excuse
mentioned
me,
the
I'm
Stewie
still-
thing as your head twists.
Yeah,
I'm still going live. I don't know what you guys are.
But yeah,
Cool, I'm live.
But yes, there's magic, there's information, there's plenty in the library. You are welcome to take some, but not welcome to take all.
Of course.
Any knowledge you learn, you are welcome to keep in your head.
are these how is this place organized? Like, how do we sort through the knowledge we want?
She just kind of smiles and just gestures to herself.
Oh.
I am your guide and I am your index. That is how Toth chose to have me serve. And then I also watch over the tests to ensure that they are done to see. And even if you were to bypass them as we did, that is a form of intelligence, knowledge that Toth respects. But all the same, the manner in which you pass them and how you treat your fellows is also worth knowing. Almost
Yes.
everything is worth knowing.
Well, then how would we find knowledge about this mask?
Look back to the others.
I need if you have some basic information about it, I can certainly point you in the right direction of time.
What was
Otherwise,
the...
you're welcome to peruse the entirety of it. You will find most of it is arranged by different timelines, but also subjects. You would need to know the subject, because she basically shows about there are magical texts interspersed. There's even, if you spend enough time, or if you just simply ask politely, and she smiles again, I can show you to where Toth even has magic his own that lies here that Toth knows that only he and we remember it.
Grieg just perks up. Ooh.
Yes, I'm sure. That would be interesting. But, say there's... What was the name of the pharaoh again that was...
I don't remember the specific name. It seemed like a lot of people were kind of... Imagine, you had something about this, right?
Say what?
Imagine, you knew something about this, right?
I knew the name. I didn't know much of it because it was ancient history even to me. But yeah, it was the Sky Pharaoh Hamatawep the First, which does seem to get a raised eyebrow from just that name. We may not have extensive knowledge on it. That is something there was, and she actually walks over to this section, but it is something that was perused all not that long ago, but a few cycles of this library. A man in a golden mask. I said you could take so many things of it, but
Right.
there were some that he left. And she just pulled out some books and sets them on the not books but more scrolls and sets them on the table here.
Don't forget to do the prayer thing first.
Right. Thank you,
Yes.
Toth, for providing us with the knowledge to increase our wisdom.
She smiles again.
So tempted to do a meme.
What meme?
Dude, nice fursuit, J-Man. Pick up a book.
Yeah, probably not great.
Just immediately get exploded.
Um,
Roll for initiative.
How did Hobbes die? Sacrilege. Ah.
Sacrilege.
That makes total sense.
That tracks. Yeah, that's exactly why he would die, actually.
Also, I did in fact go live. And my stream
Nice.
title is in fact "This stream is brought to you by the letter C." I am a
Perfect.
man of my
Should be.
word.
You're cursed.
As it should be.
So, yeah. Guess I will peruse the scrolls.
I had a question, something you might be able to point me in the direction of.
She nods and looks to you.
I'm
To the big. Oh, go ahead.
I'm looking for knowledge over souls, particularly long dead ones. And
Erasmus text, maybe?
possibly.
She was a
I'm-
mistress of the dead long ago, and as far as I know, still is.
You're correct. Our friend there works for her.
Right.
So?
I'm looking for something. You said this is also organized by time, right?
She
Is it
nods.
possibly?
Are you looking for the how, the what? I know out of character what you're talking about. It's just that you gotta get the NPC to understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to word it.
Otherwise, vibe check wise, you can tell that as much as she said that she was once part of a band of thieves, she doesn't give you thief vibes, or at least not it. Whatever it is, like she feels a lot different than that, at least now.
I'm looking for souls, and particularly what can happen to souls after a long enough period of time, or means in which to destroy souls.
Oh.
At the final one, you can even see as the other guardians kind of shift at that last bit, and she kind of looks at you and just, why would you want to destroy souls?
Just for academic purpose.
Respectable enough, I suppose. There is no knowledge that is bad, and so I can't deny that. But you can tell that actually, but like definitely struck a sort of nerve. But at the same time, she seems to not be like, she doesn't seem to hold a grudge. But she does step over and then walks down this and she actually points back the other way, and you may want to fetch the ladder.
She's
Yeah.
calling you short.
She is.
I mean, the stacks go 40 feet high. I don't think any of you are that tall.
I don't know.
Nah, clearly making a jab at his size.
I don't know where the ladder is, like on this
The-
map.
Wait, yeah, she's just pointing to the other one. You could easily just
Cool.
it's basically
I,
just play.
I think just before I grab the ladder, my hand goes out, and I'm like, wait a minute, just in
Was
case.
that a
And then
dwarf
I'm
joke?
gonna- and then I'm gonna actually drop down and give a prayer to Toth, anyways, just to be safe, and then grab the ladder.
Probably she hears the other wondering, was that a dwarf joke? You look back and you see her slightly smirking, and she's like, it is taller than even I am. But also, and then she just flickers out as you see that same sort of like ghastly image as she seems to melt away and then reappears just kind of hovering in midair and just like about 30 feet up in the air and just points at one of the sections. You need the ladder, I do not.
You know, I've had it just about here with you, and points my own, like kind of measure up to my own head, and then
hear
I'll
this-
push the ladder over.
You hear soft laughter from Dudra. And just see, it's clear she hasn't like utterly lost her sense of humor, but
I was waiting for you to go. I've had it up to starts climbing the ladder.
yeah. Yeah, right. But yeah, I'll climb up to that section and start looking for. Well, no, I'll climb up to that section and then give a prayer to Toth, and then I'll start looking. For
she just
things
she
that-
lightly just kind of like she's hovering off the ladder, kind of like right next to you, and just the one is enough. I'm sure he heard you.
Well, it's better to be safe about these things.
She laughs.
Pray with every breath. Just, I'm sorry.
It's
She
okay,
does
I've
kind of
already
lean
tried it.
over. She just kind of put both of her claws behind her waist and then just leans over to you and just simply just, you know, you and your friend's sense of humor is more irritating than a stubborn hairball. But you can see she's grinning and just like it seems she's having fun with you.
Yes, well, it's okay. You only have eternity to think about it, and then I'm just gonna keep thumbing pages.
That actually kind of gets a little bit of just a kind of a wistful sort of look in her eyes, and she just nods and leans back up to stand straight.
I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not good at this.
Good
She
job,
just smiles
buddy.
again. She doesn't look that offended. She just, like I said, wistful.
You'll learn humor one of these decades, I promise.
But yes, I'm sure that you'd find that not only because Toth doesn't worry about the righteousness or evil of what he gathers. He gathers all information. So it's like you'd find, like, especially when it's Talks of Souls, you'd literally see as one of the ones has a tag that you'd see in Ancient Osirian seems to be like on liches. It's like this library has stuff that's immensely knowledgeable. So you guys know, out of character, this is what's known as a knowledge bank. It also means that if you're able to come back in here, you don't know if you are or not. You would be able to come back in and then use it again for any knowledge checks, which also there's a nice real benefit to that because basically when you make a knowledge roll, you get to make it on the spot, and then if you come to a knowledge bank, you get another roll period with an additional +5, and then also there's usually hidden knowledge that you earn a budget of what are known as knowledge points that are basically spent by spending time, or gained by spending time, and then you spend them on things here. But just so you guys know, in the course of the roleplay as well, that Dura is able to assist you, and also you getting here. The treasure here, there is no major magic items. You will be able to find scrolls and such like that, especially if you ask. But there is knowledge in the form of any and all of you with magic will be able to unlock spells that do not exist anywhere but here. Like, there literally are unique spells. You just have to ask for ones. You have to ask what they have in certain categories. You could ask by school. You could ask by you're looking for something offensive. You're looking for something fire based. It's up to you, because their big thing is you have to ask or just search it out. But you're not going to just be able to be like, give me all your spells. So that's not going to happen.
Right.
And then the other minor treasure, I don't know if I would say minor, but the side treasure there is it's like Dura herself actually is effectively removable from the library, but you'll just have to, it's obvious if it's not obvious already, it's it's clear she wants to leave, but she doesn't feel like she should.
How many others have you helped in here?
There have been 2 sets of successful applicants, and then 4 sets of those who fell.
See.
Yeah, we saw the dwarf.
Yeah, she frowns at that. Just see. It was a dwarf, an elf, and a human.
Yeah, I did see those 2 as well. They mentioned it.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a pain to get over.
I mean, more for me than it was for you.
I'll say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, didn't you get
I was impaled, yes, not in the fun way either.
She nods, and you escaped
I
the
offered.
scarabs before they reached you.
I mean, I did get these bitching goggles, so I can't be too mad.
And the holy symbol.
Mm-hmm.
True.
We're gonna get smited for saying swear words in a holy place.
She laughs again and shakes her head no.
I mean, I
Bitch.
just said bitching, yeah.
Yeah, I know, that's why I was worried.
Yeah, but it was used in a cool way, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's totally cool with swearing as long as, it's
Yeah.
for cool ways.
Yeah, God's cool that as long as you're being cool.
You just hear her, depends on the god, and just kind of puts a finger around her cheek.
True.
It depends on the context, too. You say, Pharasma's bitching, I'm sure she's cool with it. You say Pharasma's, well...
You want to finish that sentence?
Don't.
Please. Scientific experiment.
No, you know what? I don't, actually.
Verloise is glaring, you better not.
Yeah, stop talking about bitches. You're gonna make Char excited.
Yeah, I am not protected as much as some other people who might say those phrases.
You also have to admit, we are currently in a library. We're just expanding our vocabulary.
You actually hear from Dura, she's like, I do have a book, and it's one of the few books of ancient Osirian swear words. And
I would like that one, please.
You would see, she vanishes from you, Sarik, and at first you just see a book hovering towards you. As she gets closer, you see that she's actually just carrying it. but you'd see as it's basically she just carries it all the way over to you, hops and places it in your hands, and it seems
thank
to
you,
have
Toth.
like translations.
That's amazing.
It's like so you now know probably every like clever, like interesting, like Ryan Reynolds level of cursing in ancient Osirian.
I need a I need a soundboard just so I can be like, ah yes, beep beep.
You're the Osirian Deadpool now.
Well done. Well done.
Amatria just kind of is like, that seems like, does that have a place in a holy library? And she's simply,
Our
it all
knowledge.
does.
Dormy just said, ask the librarian if she has any coloring books.
That's wonderful.
God damn it!
It's better than the thing you were talking about asking her.
You're right.
Also, we do have plenty of materials, or if you don't want to take the book itself, or if you do reach we don't have a hard limit, but basically if it seems like you're plundering and not here to
Right.
just learn, which but she motions to one of the guardians and they suddenly like golden sand seems to appear out of the air around their hands, and they just one manifests a stack of looks like parchment, and then seems to just have a ink and quill sitting on top of it, as much as you need. They have an infinite amount of basically copy materials.
It is like a coloring book. Just all
Are you
black.
saying that in character?
No.
So, like, so can we take books from here, or
She nods. You can take. Our
Yeah.
general consensus is as many as your arms can carry, but specifically your arms is generally. And she actually pauses. Is what I've been putting it as. It's been left in my care, but I wasn't given rules. I was told I had to maintain the library's sanctity.
do I find cursive? Do I find any books that are pertinent to the things I'm looking for, like specifically?
I think we'll need to talk on what specific, like certain ones, but yes, you'd find quite a bit of stuff. As far as personnel ones, it probably wouldn't have like the second line that you sent to me. I feel like that might be a bit too specific
That
for this
one-
place.
So that one, that's actually already like a thing. It's with Sarik's clan, as far
Okay.
as like records go.
But yes, I would be able to find that. I would say that you definitely can find quite a bit. But especially on the terms of like how to destroy the different methods of just you find probably books on quite a few different methods, all from like as far as what happens with souls, you'd be able to find ones that, and it would probably be more than that section because I doubt they're just in that section. If you started looking at like how souls are created, there'd be ones on the River of Souls, there'd be ones on Pharasma, there'd be what the soul is as far as how it's known by mortals who've spoken to the gods. But there are different accounts too. Keep in mind that there is no hard and set answer. It depends on which gods you ask. Does the answer change? But
Fair.
still,
I
it
think
all
it-
follows a very similar theme. That basically souls come from the positive energy plane, and then basically go through the first world, which was originally the first material plane, and then
Mhm.
passes here, where then they are distributed by a river, but also taken away by a river. And then basically that when they go to the boneyard, which then distributes them, which the one quintessential truth is all souls are power, and they're power that the gods are basically fighting over who should get what. And so
Right.
and basically the general theme is that the mortals get to decide which gods get the power,
Is
if any, and then those that decide no one, then instead forestall in Judgment Day.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like I find quite a bit. Do I find any books over, if possible, how to track a soul, like of a specific person?
Let me see. Trying to see if there's a good spell for it because there's supposed to be quite a few spells here. Like pretty much every basic spell is in here because, I mean, she'd even be able to point out that yeah, they had a decently high level wizard, so all the spells that he knew and the spells that he just knew of all got entered into here. But yeah, I'd say you'd find some magic for it. Out of character, I need to find. I know there's one that lets you track souls in spellwork. I think it's a third-party one, but
All good. I'm just mostly asking just so I can make sure that Sarik finds like books that are pertinent to what he's trying to do, like here, now.
Okay.
'Cause I don't want to risk like not being able to come like I don't want to risk like us not being able to come back here, and then not being able to get
Soul
the
Seeker.
information.
So let me see. The only thing I need to roll on. Go ahead and give me a D100 roll. There's Soul Seeker, where you basically need a target. You either need the skull of the body, or you need to unambiguously identify the soul by name.
Nice.
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 Nice. So did I find the pelvic bone or?
Wow. Slap. This isn't about the skull itself. I'm just saying. It's
What's
basically
this
where
book? It's called the Kama Sutra.
you do find a singular scroll of Soul Seeker, which is a very high level scroll. You don't know if you're allowed to take the scrolls, but you can certainly ask.
Yeah, I think I'd ask.
But also, you could also, but
I'm not stealing from a god's library. It seems like a really bad idea. I'm just gonna ask.
to which she nods. She's like, "That is the first you've requested of the magical scrolls, so yes." Generally, I've limited to mundane ones. I ask that you copy if you can, and simply do not take if you're taking to deprive. You need to take it because it's too much to copy. And she gestures to the book table where she left the mask ones. Although she pauses, like, I'm not certain that one might have actually tried to take it to deprive. I feel like the knowledge they needed was smaller and quite copyable, if not memorizable.
Yes, I'm sure they probably didn't want us to find it, which is worrying.
Yeah.
She looks very guilty at that, and that means that I failed in that regard, as I'm supposed to judge. Oh, that's what I feel.
Well, I mean, I think they're dead now, so.
Yeah. Besides, you failed nobody. You've been very
So for
helpful.
Lois, I'm sorry.
For those, kind of just, you see the little light behind her mask blink.
Just because, like the earlier thing, you seem mad.
You almost called her a B word!
I mean, she's been called worse.
By your mom, but not by...
This is true. This is true.
Look, I'm trying to be better. You know, I had a very nice dinner.
You
with
are,
Sabtu.
and I've been so happy. And she kind of drapes her arms around your shoulders. She's like, and I don't want you to backslide. I want you to be happy with her. It's like, she's kind of my mom, and you're kind of my cousin, and I don't want...
You know what? They might have like really cool ancient Pharasman like texts here or something you could look up.
Yeah, they probably do, but I'm waiting my turn. We all get a turn, right? Which Amadra just laughs politely.
Okay. I think I'll grab like Cursive. I guess you and I can work out like what books they were in relevance. But I think I just grab like a couple books that would be relevant, or just the scroll, and then
I'm revealing...
Probably-
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I'm revealing it bit by bit, but one thing you guys would find because of the massive amount of this is the library does seem to have an abundant... Well, they said there's some that are magical. Some is a very relative term when you're talking of literally, like, quite potentially 1 million documents.
Yes.
So, like, even if she has 1% of them are magical, that's still, like, 1,000 magical items.
Yeah.
But the wealth here is indescribable. But to that degree, but yes, you all can take a bit of magic, but there are also, like, spell books and such. Now, granted, and then also... So, like, if you want that to be... Now, you don't know if the limit's 1, but she just simply said that's your first that you've asked, so yes.
Okay.
But otherwise, keep in mind, the scroll does allow, like, you could give to someone who... And it is the Soul Seeker 1, which basically, if you know the soul's name, if you know unambiguously who it is, you don't need the skull. Otherwise, if you just have it, then you need the skull of the body the soul has been in as a focus. And then they get a will save if they don't share your alignment at the time of their death. So, funny thing is, like, a lot of the ones in the case of you looking for that, like, they probably would, even though they don't share your other, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like, so it'd be kind of interesting. And then basically it helps you find them if they exist beyond, it even helps you find them after they've received judgment. So you can
Perfect.
basically go and, like, demand answers from whatever angel or beings they've been added to.
I think for now I'll stow that, and then I think I'd grab like a book about. Maybe grab a book about. Just I don't know, just a few books about like souls, as far as like, like at least one about like methods to destroy them. Actually, probably a couple of those, and then another one about like.
What manner
Yeah,
of
that's
destroying,
all,
like, would you, like, just shattering, remove, like, just because there's a bunch of methods, Would you be looking for ways to just destroy it outright, to convert it into something that's no longer that soul and irretrievable? Like,
Destroy it outright.
Destroy it outright? Okay, that narrows it down. I'll have to find... There are, like I said, quite a few methods. I'll find one, and we'll say that's the one you basically get an extensive book on.
Cool.
I should have asked you guys between sessions, like, what would you be hunting in the
We
library?
haven't talked about this in like a year, so you're fine. Like, we haven't talked about Sarik's backstory stuff in a long time, so it's fine. But yeah, I'd probably grab a book about like destroying souls, and then another book about like.
Well, that part's still fresh in my
Just
mind
right
for
there.
all that. It's just the specifics of each. It's just there's a lot of answers I could give you, and choosing if this were like only Osirian lore, like it would make more sense. But this one, it's literally supposed to be any information they've managed to find, and if they manage to meet anyone else or get the info from like a person, like she'd be able to explain that anyone who falls in the temple in an unintrusive way to the soul, but their minds, especially at the moment of their death, are basically plucked for basically any knowledge that they can find that's not personal. Toth has a big thing on you don't take personal lives belong to the person. It should never be cataloged. Like Toth is against journals. Toth is very much against, but an autobiography or biography is fine because that's knowledge either that you're putting out in there willingly or that someone else has gathered on you, that's perfectly acceptable. But your personal thoughts are always yours.
Fair. Then how about I just say that I find 3 books of relevance, and then I'll bring those to her and be like, "Is it okay if I take these with me as well?"
And she smiles and nods.
Thank you very much.
I have a question.
She looks back to you.
Are we allowed to tell people how to get through the puzzles, or is that like forbidden?
It's not forbidden. It's certainly frowned upon because they should. But at the same time, you're welcome. But to a degree, what Toth would prefer, and she kind of pauses. It's weird to say, as I feel. Understand that while I speak for Toth in this regard, I am not Toth, and I feel that's important for me to distinguish. And she walks past Char, and you'd see as like her touch ruffles the fur. He's now a bird. But just walks to you and just simply, because I don't speak by any channel, but I speak by, I know when he is pleased and I know when he is displeased, and I know that. But in any case, if you are going to tell someone how to get in here, then you need to teach them the why. And you need to teach them the lessons that the traps are supposed to teach. Because Toth does not wish their death, even though that does teach us a great bit from their minds. But that is not at all. Simply put, if you ask for too much here, rather than tell you no, I would just simply ask that then we can take from your mind to learn from you and add to the shelves. And she just gestures to the one holding a pile of parchment. Many of these scrolls are written by well, I would say us, but them, and found by me. I feel like that is a fair trade because, again, everything personal is your own, but what you have learned should be shared. Our goal is not to teach the world, as our command has been to find and keep safe the knowledge. We just choose to share it to those who prove that they can respect it.
I was just curious because I know the Nethites would love to get down here, but they also probably would ransack the place with just trying to get everything they could.
They're more respectful than that.
That gets a little smile from her. You don't know why she's smiling at that one, though.
Did I say something funny?
Do you wish to learn?
I mean, always, yeah.
She actually seems to she gets a little pep in her step as she goes over and goes to a little side section. It almost seems like it makes you wonder if maybe there are other hidden sections, as you realize that there's a small shelf over here. And you realize that as you look over there, it looks like there is, again, a singular book and a couple parchments, but they don't seem to match each other, whereas most of the other is very sequential. And as she pulls out...
Tim, thank you for
she goes to the table and then gestures for you to sit.
Yeah, it's like my taily ass down.
Toth is a bit unique in the Osirian Pantheon, as many of... Oh, 1 second, let me get this open. I don't misquote anything. So, if you know of Nethys, you know he is a Gurundi, but he had come from the borders of around here. And it, trying to think of how about the. Did you ever wonder? Have you given any theory? She sets down a scroll before you of where the iconography of Nethys comes from.
I mean, I was always told that iconography of Nethys was basically because they learned so much, they went mad, and their madness basically split themselves into two extremes, and the iconography symbolizes those extremes.
The all-seeing eye, they call him, yes. There was a very mighty and intelligent man that was named Nethys. And before, the library was plumbed by certain other groups or a certain group of thieves. And she just kind of pokes a finger into the scroll. Nethys stepped into this library. But he did not seek the books. He knew that Toth's... It was his theory, and she opens it up and shows the library's drawing, but it shows like an arcing of magic that looks about, and as soon as like where she touches, you can see that the air moves and seems to kind of shimmer. It is theorized to some that the Library of Toth is the mind of Toth himself, that we live in his brain. At least those in here. And she just kind of smiles. That's where he exists. And as such, Nethys wanted to commune with the ancient god to learn all that he could, so that he wouldn't have need of the library. And his wish was granted. And they communed, and melded to a degree. Unfortunately, Toth has never lived a mortal life. One blending into the other. It was said that is where the divine spark was given life and grew far more powerful than it ever was, because the thing in mortals can change realities, which the Osirian pantheon can never do, except in their purviews. The purview of knowledge is simply to exist, to remember, and to be forgotten. It does not have the power to continue. It does not have the power to change, because that lies again, and she points at you, with mortals. So Toth is the one who waits, while Nethys makes all the change in the world.
I'm sorry, are you telling me this is where Nethys ascended into divinity?
Gained the power to do so.
I feel like I'm not qualified to sit in this chair anymore.
She just grins. It was a stepping stone in learning. And learning something like that. And she kind of smiles. You can tell that she's giddy. But it's just doesn't that make it all the more... I don't know. It shows what just knowledge alone, and she kind of extends her claws towards the things can do. If you know what to do, if you find the right book. I've been here for years, and I don't know every single scroll. I just know where they lie.
That is a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We are near the west of Osirian. We are very... And also, as you may or may not know, the library tends to wander.
So
We
we've
did
heard.
notice, yeah.
Again, choices I've made. Allowing it to move allows more to potentially find it. And she looks at you. I would rather more visit. The only reason I don't is just I know the entry is both difficult and testing, but then the tests grow deeper and more dangerous. And they're not mine to undo.
Right. Of course. Are You get repeat visitors?
Not often, but they are welcome. And she actually walks over to the far end. After all, as she waves a hand, and you'd see as a beam of what looks like just moonlight illuminates the 10-foot square over here. And you'd see as a light blue light just illuminates as a what looks like kind of like a floating desk. You realize it just seems to be a magical elevator out.
The easy way.
It's also an easier way in. But it only works once you know the way in, and you must know its location.
That's
Which-
fair.
I guess that makes sense. If you've already passed the tests once, having you do them again would be kind of a waste of time.
She nods. And some of them don't. I mean, she kind of chuckles. I guess by your definition, first or second one, the balance would be irritating, even if you didn't know or if you did know the answer.
Yes, any slip up could be potentially not due to your knowledge.
Or if you were wounded, if you were. She just smiles, but
who's next? Who's got something to look at?
she looks at Griark. I do think you were also looking for some magic, yes?
I mean, yeah, I would love any kind of magical knowledge that I could take from this place.
She looks back at Hobbs. And you?
Probably also some magic.
Tell me what you desire. What do you wish to do with your wills, with your magics, with your intelligence?
Yes, we?
Well, not intelligence.
Not
As
that
I
one.
said your will. She pokes it. She pokes at your bare chest. I did say will.
I am willing. I'm, as you can see, more of the set everything on fire type of magic user. Not here, of course, because that'd be awful. But anything that have to do with like the elements, anything that'd be like fire, or earth, or air, or water, anything like that. I don't necessarily have a specific thing in mind.
She pauses and just seems to think for a bit.
Are you thinking of something offensive, Hobbs?
Probably. Most of the things I do are offensive.
You are very offensive, yes.
That is correct. To most people. And now I am even more offensive, and I hold up my book of ancient ceremony swear words.
That is true.
I can offend people in multiple languages.
Do you consider light an element?
It's a new one, but yes, I would.
So, there is one that I could teach you, and some arcane ones that even someone, I'm going to guess sorcerer,
Yes.
from
correct.
how I've seen you cast your magic.
I thought she was going to be like, someone even as dumb as you can
She just smiles kindly and she's like, and I can teach both of you if you would like. And then of the other ones, out of character, basically any of the Toth specific magic, if you come here, she won't give you a free spell slot every time. This one, she does give you guys either a spell known. She can't give you a free spell one, but in the case of sorcerers, it just adds straight in because it is just from will, and it's like as you've seen, they have a predilection. But she does go over and pulls out more of just probably the arcane, like information on it, and then pulls out. You'd realize that it's kind of like the baseline, like fundamentals of a spell. This one is just simply called Moonlight, and it is, as you've seen, can help you illuminate things. Can be useful to those. And she looks between you, and I get the sense, judging from your lack of torches and light sources for the majority of you, that you don't need the ability to see in the dark all the time, right? Or don't need light to see in the dark.
I am a
That's-
walking light source.
Yes, we're all pretty capable of seeing in the darkness.
Yes.
This can assist you with that. I don't know if any of you are susceptible to bright light, or if you travel with anyone who does. And she would basically explain moonlight functions like like a daylight spell. It's the same level as it, but what it specifically does is anyone that is susceptible to bright light treats it as dim light for the purposes of light-based penalties. So take 0 penalties in it, but otherwise will then illuminate it and then let your dark vision go further, as it basically then casts it further without being a blinding light source.
Ah, tricksy.
And then if you but then the other thing is if you do use a moonstone or a certain trick, as she kind of gently reaches down and taps your holy symbol there, Hobbs, you may also then cast it with that. Although you will need to leave your, at least once, leave your holy symbol in the light of a full moon for a night. But once it's been done once, it will always be qualifying for it. But it allows you to then move the spell, which even a daylight spell does not allow you to do that.
Fancy.
You can then move it with a little bit. Basically, out of character, it's a move action. But
Noted.
otherwise, it's a very long-lasting one. Let me look for others, though.
How does
You were about. Oh,
So-
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how does Toth feel about the oracular arts?
I mean, that spell could be cast by an oracle, if that's what you're asking me.
Perhaps. That would be interesting.
Yeah, give me a second to look around. I have quite a list here, so I need to
Mm-hmm.
just double check. And also, since Hobbs was looking for elemental, what about you, Greg? Where were you at? Because you were also asking. I don't think you've been in.
I'm back.
chance
Sorry.
to-
I was just looking for spells. I don't know any specific things they would have. I mean, I'm an arcanist. We kind of just get whatever and everything we can, you know?
I know that the wizard that traveled with us was a big fan of cantrips. You want it? Would you like a cantrip?
I mean, those are cool too, yeah.
So, to which you bring over more to show you a spell that's simply just... It's just called Alter Fire, or also known as Alter Normal Fires. Basically, it only affects non-magical fires, but it allows you to temporarily change the brightness and light intensity, but not the heat, of a fire, either all the way down to a tinder twig, aka a match, or increase in brightness to a light spell, as long as it's medium or smaller fire. You can basically make it seem less big or larger than it actually is.
That's neat.
You stay away from my hair.
God damn it, you figured it out already.
I caught on real quick.
But think how fun it would be to make your head just like, look like it's a freaking pyre.
What if
I'm
we
just
just go
im-
find a tower next to the sea, and then he could actually help bring ships in safely?
I was just imagining you like could change my hairstyle with that. Just like now it's an afro, now it's a mohawk.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find the one
That'd
here
be
that I know is in
amazing.
here. I'm trying to find. There's a fun one that I feel like a lot of people would want. I'm trying to find it. Do.
I did have a topic I would at least try to look for. I don't know if
Yeah, that helps. There's. She looks around and just kind of does a little bit of a spin. Like I'd say out of character. Not that any of your characters would have the knowledge of the character that I'm referencing here, but
Mhm.
like you definitely get the sense that she's kind of like Belle in a library. She seems to have fallen in love with just like the amount of just fun things for you. Even though you highly doubt there's any fiction in here.
right.
She's kind of the non-fiction Belle.
Well, the lunar oracles like myself are not as common, and even thus the ones with companions such as my char here. I was hoping to find magics to help assist me with the companion.
Out of character, I'm not quite certain if I follow.
Like some of the more hunters and ranger type people have spells to improve their companions.
Okay. Give me 1 second to find the one I'm looking for, Hobbs, and I'll do another search for that one then if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's good for any desert. I have a spell that will help you find oases. They're better for ones such as you. She points at you. Not that you're asking for that.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
That's interesting.
Oh my god, I made the mistake of looking for the word fire. There's a lot of spells that have fire in this document.
What? No.
So many fire.
I will
There it
ask,
is.
and it's probably just a... Oh, okay, never mind.
So there is a rather fun one here that is a variant and superior version than the Burning Hand spell.
I'm interested.
And she sits down, and you look at it. In the moment you look at it, you'd see that it actually seems to be a cold-based spell, but it seems to be. You'd see immediately that it says Frostfire, and simply
Ooh.
put, this one here it allows you to select for each one that, but you can choose how much of it becomes frost and how much becomes fire to any variation. So you
That
can
is pretty good.
Then as you look at it, there's one major thing that makes it quite awesome. It's still just a level 1 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also learnable by Cleric, Oracle, and Druid. But only at level 2 for them. But then it gains it starts as a cold, it's technically a cold one, but then gains the fire one if you put any fire damage in it. So you basically, out of the D4 you select, you may select the combination.
I'm just gonna
And
make fun
if there's-
patterns in the Frostfire.
If there's any fire in it, the cold and the fire do not harm each other, and thus it can start a fire while simultaneously basically freezing a section.
Oh, good. So now I can perform 2 types of property damage at the same time.
I mean, technically that would cause more damage, even though it doesn't have a higher damage for that. But you know,
Yeah.
something that gets frozen then suddenly hot, then suddenly cold.
Yes, this one seems lovely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, time to read.
Let's see. I'm looking for the animal companion ones. Well, because it was spoken about, bestow speech, temporary ability to let your animal talk.
Well, I feel like we must learn this.
Give Shar a voice. Give Shar a voice.
It's a level 2 Druid Ranger or Cleric Oracle one if you have an animal companion. Otherwise, you can't learn it otherwise. It's a transmutation. I mean, here, it doesn't normally say Cleric Oracle, but I know that when you gain those ones, these type of things. God damn it. I really, really, really hate this error right now because this is...
Making it difficult.
I think my mouse just might be dying because if I press down really hard on it, it seems worse. I think it just might be the mouse dying.
Harder.
Wow.
This book is bitching.
Yeah.
There's one that allows you to call them from a very long distance, not in terms of teleportation, but you can give them a message that only they will hear. It does not require any line of sight, and if you tell them to come to you, or more specifically the word come, they will know an intrinsic knowledge of your location and their quickest route to you.
Does seem useful.
But yes, if you have spellcasting, which all 4 of you do, and some of them you can see I'm obviously editing.
Sarik doesn't.
Oh yeah, Strick doesn't anymore. But his leadership cohort does. Basically, if you have, and if you don't Sarik, there's a different benefit. So don't think you're not going to get anything in here. But the baseline one is knowledge, and anyone that has magic, you can take basically another spell known. In the terms of sorcerers and oracles, that's literally going to increase just your spells known, which is a bigger one for that. But that's just the name of the game. Otherwise, then yes, there's magical gear here. And just to kind of, since there's a bunch, I'm not going to sit here and go hunting for all of it and eat up all the time. But suffice to say that the one big thing is, story-wise, they don't have, like, this isn't the game winner. You're going to probably need the other library. But, at the same time, this place is returnable. Like, this place is literally a personal little library, and also kind of a little bit of a hidden fortress. Like, now that they're not hostile to you and you can get in, it's like, there's not a ton in here, but there's no reason you wouldn't be able to, like, come in here and, like, rest and sleep as long as you don't hurt the books. But the big question is how it moves. But we can certainly look in the downtime if you don't need it right this second.
Gotcha.
I have quite a few. Obviously, I'm using third-party books to basically add in. That's how I usually add in a small amount of.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that that I found in here that before everything went to shit for my life, but the spell is actually called catnip, but she raises a finger, but it works on multiple types. It's a lot of fun though. Basically, it causes creatures of that type to follow the aroma, seek them out, try to devour them, maybe like overvalue them. And then it basically causes like what it could effectively be drunkenness, I suppose.
Catnip for elementals.
It does have to be an animal type.
Damn it.
You have a snake.
Yeah.
It's an elemental.
Actually
But
charged
it's
elemental.
And like not animal in the type, but a type of animal. So like basically like, and I would say like if you did serpents, like it probably would actually affect it since that's not using the animal creature type. But
Catnip on party animals. It's just a 12-pack of beer.
well, specifically, it uses berries and just makes them very, very attractive to the whatever animal you do. The spell is just called catnip. There's also a spell. I know that's in here. That what level of spell work do you have? I.e., what's your highest spell?
Who's she talking to?
The other person with an animal companion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that would be 3rd level.
I do know one that basically lets you transform them into a more prehistoric sort of form. Kind of like a rage spell mixed with a little bit of a... Basically, it's like, I mean, she'd be able to explain that it gives them a +6 bonus to strength to con, a bonus on will saves, but then takes a penalty to armor class. And then they also gain some temporary hit points.
Ah.
And then the body appears to look like a dire version of whatever they are. And it works on dire animals, so it technically would. But
Double dire.
it's literally just called Dire Rage.
Like it.
There's Empower, which gives them a +8 competence bonus on a skill check. You can choose at the point of casting, which lets you help them out. You just hear Majuet. That would have been useful in the climbs.
Right?
No doubt.
She kind of chuckles. There's one that I know I read about that marks somebody as prey for all animal companions that aren't theirs, and natural anything that eats meat, lycanthropes, and even some monstrous humanoids will sense, smell, even just feel their presence, and feel hungrier when looking at them. It works even better if they've performed particularly heinous crimes against nature, such as harming a forest or killing a sacred animal. Basically, the animals affected then think of the target as their most favored prey,
Hmm.
and intrinsically know them when they get close enough, making hiding not quite as easy. Eh?
Sounds fairly mean.
She just kind of shrugs. Is it any meaner than a fireball?
Hmm.
Depends on who's casting it.
I suppose it depends on the person. But, actually, and I don't mean to assume, and I would like to offer knowledge in exchange for this, given. Don't know if, this recent of knowledge would be in this place or not.
Just looks at you expectantly, like, by all means.
Just, I suppose I don't know the process that you use. Out of
Simply
character.
put-
Oh, sorry.
Out of character?
Basically wants to put knowledge of the sanctuarian into the library.
Sanctuary?
The sanctuarian, the Luriel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she could certainly take that. I doubt that they have much information on that. Maybe some recent stuff, but in any case, for that they just use Mind Link, and then one of the Guardian statues in here basically just takes out the quill ink and just rapidly writes. As you realize that all but one of them pretty much move to a table and start doing the same, either sitting or leaning over as they do it. As you realize that they're not writing the same thing; they're writing different pages of the same, and then simply put them together and roll them together to place into a scroll tube. But yeah, to which she smiles and is like, "That will certainly do. You can certainly be a bit more generous then."
I feel that she would have wanted to pass on that.
It's good to remember there have been hundreds of gods that have existed and fallen away, not just the Osirians. Not that they've fallen away yet. And she smiles a little bit, but
Indeed.
I imagine there's been quite a few new gods since you. Well, I guess I don't know how long you're down here. I suppose.
she smiles again and just say 317 years.
Oh, jeez. I think Arden was before that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so not a lot of major shakeups then. There's like
Arden's
dozen new
death
gods?
was... Yeah, Arden... Well, he came up to then, and then he would have been a god at that point. Like, she probably remembers him as a god, but at the same time, seems like she has some info.
Yeah, I would imagine that
Gotcha.
that news is well known.
Gotcha, yeah. So I think there's only been like a dozen or so new gods since then. That I'm aware of, anyways.
She pulls out a single scroll of something that first you think is relevant to the convo, and she just sets it on the same table with the other arcane ones. It just seems to continue walking by as she looks at some other ones. Seems like she's helping you look for knowledge that seems fitting now. But she is listening to you, but seems like she's also trying to assist. But you're welcome to look at that one. But if you bring up Eridan, she's just like, yeah, I recall them being a god. I've heard some recent that he may have fallen, but I suppose that's you confirming that.
Yeah, he definitely died. I've been told do not ask Pharasma about it. It's a touchy subject.
It was said they worked very, very much together. She pulls out a second scroll and just sets it down. Also useful ones. And also, there's, as mentioned, there's a technique here that even you that follow a god, I can teach it to a degree, provided it doesn't go against your god's core tenets.
Oh.
I.e., certain divine ones you can add to your spell lists. But the two she set down, one was... where did I put it? Charged Missile. It's actually a permanent spell. Low level, level 2, arcane one. This would be among the arcane users, but it permanently enchants a single piece of ammunition that doesn't take any magic to activate. Then if that ammunition hits, it basically applies a temporary and additional enchantment to the thing. Because it basically adds an additional 1d6 plus 1 points of electrical damage, and then the plus 1, the 1d6 plus 1 is multiplied per caster level. So a maximum of 10d6 plus 10.
Ooh.
And so it's just a spell. And then that's in addition to the normal damage. So you could theoretically just like put that on all your bullets.
That's a pretty fancy spell.
The big downside of it is it has any spell resist just utterly turns it off.
I get you.
Basically, it always fails on spell resist rolls. The other one she offered is a spell called Chrysalis, which basically allows you to put somebody into a bit of a... They have to be willing, and they have to be truly willing. No level enchantment can do it, but even a moments of willingness, they will allow it. But otherwise, while within, they're in a basically a silky cocoon that lightly hovers, and within they don't need to eat, drink, and they are automatically sleeping. But they heal as though they're receiving a full day's rest within each hour, and they can be subject to any. The Chrysalis only has 1 hit point and will break, and the spell will end. They have rudimentary and awareness, basically half penalty to normally the -10 if you're asleep, but they get the -5, so they're kind of awake. And then once they're awake of something, it takes a 4-round action to break free. And if it's destroyed, they're stunned, but then otherwise break free. But otherwise, once they're fully healed and have no negative conditions on them, then they automatically break free as well. But also, you can still target them with any positive spell effects while they're within, and the duration doesn't go down. So basically, like, you could sit there and you could put, like, remove disease on somebody and stuff like that. Doesn't stop the disease from progressing, but it also is very good for someone who's near death because it lets you just kind of pause it. As long as you don't let them get hit. An interesting little spell.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Healing basically twice your hit dice every hour is pretty nice. Automatic. And it doesn't require anything more than just what would be in a spell component pouch level of, because it takes a cocoon from a butterfly material. It's divine only.
Yeah, it's just cool.
There is it's a level 4 at the lowest one, but there is an arcane healing, although it's very, very, it's high level and doesn't heal much. But it's also because it's time travel, basically. It draws back your body, and then undoes it. But the problem is it also undoes the food, so basically you get a sudden bout of hunger. That's what it costs. Hunger and thirst. But it basically reverses time and is much lower or much higher. It's a level, like the lowest level of it's level 4, and it's basically a cure moderate. It's like, yeah, but arcane doesn't usually get healing, so it's like that's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah.
But yes, I could sit here and go on all day, but I don't really want to because like it's like, oh, there's plenty more we could do. But understand there is a lot here, and we can certainly. But the ones I was going to give everyone at least access to for free are basically the Toth ones that came out of the adventure. Just so you guys know what those are, if you ever want to take them, but some of them are higher level than what you're at. But also then the greater question then also would be in Dura herself.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously getting back in here, finding some stuff. So, of the quest or of the spells in here, just to go over them quickly, there's one that's Hieroglyphic Barrier, which creates basically a semi-translucent barrier that gives you concealment to both directions, and then but it also sheds bright light within 10 feet and normal light beyond, and then it also causes one to be dazzling light to the point that you basically are defended visually, and then it also lets you apply a glyph of warding to anyone who passes through the barrier, and you can put a passphrase on it just like you would normally. And so, like, you could even put a blast into it if you wanted to. And then you can also later on turn it into, like, a full spell glyph, which then makes everybody go through function as though they're getting hit by the spell. They do have to save against it, but... And then, basically, there's a greater version that functions like a greater glyph of warding. So it's basically a glyph of warding, but a wall that you can't just get past is immune to being erased. And basically, you can force them to have to save against a spell. And then the fun thing is, just like Glyph of Warding normally does, even if they're not normally targeted by the spell, the Glyph of Warding will force them to have to save against it, as though they were a valid target. Makes it quite... Now granted, the spell would have to still be able to affect them, i.e. a Chaos Hammer wouldn't hit a Chaotic person, a Charm person wouldn't hit an animal. But otherwise...
Gotcha.
If they are like, they have, like, non-detection, or you wouldn't be able to target them with a spell, or they have spell resist. That bypasses that. It's basically they're going around the wall and getting... There's Toth's Crescent, which lets you enchant a sickle, which gives it a additional +1 enhancement bonus on attack and damage rolls. And then it's treated as silver for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. And then it also, if you are a divine spellcaster that... When they say worship Toth, I know the Toth one is supposed to be like, it doesn't have to be dedicated. So I'd say in game terms, in my game, like how I use veneration, it would be you have to venerate Toth. But otherwise, it makes the sickle have the damage and critical threat range of a scimitar when wielded in melee, and then also it functions as a +1 distance returning chakram if you use the throw.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you burn a channel, then it allows you to give it axiomatic. And then there is a 5th level spell that functions for psychics, divine, and arcane. That is the Threefold Moons of Toth. That makes 3 motes of light that shed light equivalent to a moonlight spell on each of them that center on and move with the caster. And as a move act, you automatically get the benefit as if you had used the moonstones from the other one. So you can basically send them out up to a maximum range of 100 plus 100 or plus 10 feet of level. And unlike the dancing lights, if you ever move out of range, the moon immediately returns to your side at the fastest route. It flies back to you. And then all magical darkness of 3rd level or lower are suppressed when the moon's light touches them without affecting illumination, as well as then it will also illuminate a shadow of. So it doesn't stop their invisibility, but it reveals the position of invisible creatures. The full moonlight gives the enhanced power to lawful and light spells if it's upon someone. The half moonlight gives a buff to abjuration and language-dependent effect spells. And the crescent moon buffs all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma checks, as well as any spells that create rune symbols or writing, or involve those things, as well as divinations. And then you save a +2 against all spells that use anything mentioned in those 3. And then finally, that spell is also threefold, where if it gets dispelled, only 1 moon is dispelled at a time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. As far as utility goes, it's pretty strong. But yeah, I would say in the terms of lootable benefits to you, and what I would like to talk with you about, Goblin, is basically I'll add a spell that fits something found in here, either one of those or one of the other lost spells. If you have one that you could add to basically Verloise as your leadership cohort.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And it
Exciting.
would function as a spell-like ability for her. It's basically thematically what it is they're teaching you basically magic, and also a method to basically it's clear they have some level of magic that they can teach you how to learn more magic than your class ever knew. Because they're teaching you like ancient secrets.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Ancient ways to destroy things.
I know that sometimes the just gaining spells and spell work doesn't seem like the biggest treasure. At the same time, it is a very literally most libraries are limited to certain subjects. This library is not. And then also the fact that it's hidden means that it's very unlikely to fall into the hands of enemies easily, apart from the ones that already know it's here.
I like it. This is a cool place.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's actually super cool. It's a god's library at the end of a dungeon. It's fucking awesome. It's super crazy, dude. But yeah, I don't quite know which one.
Yeah, and you don't have to
I've
decide
got
right
both.
now. Like, yeah, we could talk
Yeah.
about it. There's just a lot of quote unquote hidden spells, basically, as long as it's not something like level 1, gain the godling race it for 10 minutes. Like, no, fuck off.
Well, it seems like I have no more business in this camp. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, that works. We'll figure it out.
Mythic Trials and you.
Yeah. Gain a free mythic level. No, fuck off.
I like a
Uh,
cantrip that's as powerful as Wish.
Cantrip.
Okay, sure, but all the bad guys got it first.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, shit.
Press the Digiwish.
Press to wishitation.
Wish to digitation.
Otherwise, in
Worship
flavor's sake,
sauce.
you'd find out that Dura is the reason that the temple actually moves as well, since she's basically just choosing that more people do, which also means that it does follow her will. That basically, as much as she is a servant and bound to this, that at the same time, she does have some will and power, which does mean that could open up interesting avenues.
True.
Especially if you
Mobile
went to
Assault
move,
Fortress.
yeah, if you got her to either follow around or be willing to move it to where you're near, but. It's a sizable boon, considering it's pretty much nigh infinite scrolls. You just have to find them.
Yeah, right.
China Rose, I haven't looked in a bit. It's still Borger. Okay. Borger.
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 Here, wait. Allow me to update it.
Oh no.
What would happen if you left here? Would you be able to come back?
She pauses and just see. I've wondered if I left, if I simply. I've theorized with a little bit of after my knowledge of Toth, or I should say my lessons with Toth, none of which are direct, but at the same time enlightening. She kind of takes a deep breath and sighs, but that as much as I think that my life has passed from me and that I am just a specter, I do believe that I believe there's more knowledge here than is simply life and death, and I feel like from what I know of Toth, I would either be given a new chance at life entirely, or maybe my old body back. Maybe it's been kept in a safe place. Or maybe I would need to seek a resurrection, I don't know, actually.
I mean, he wouldn't be the first undead that we've brought back to life.
It kind of coughs and looks to Madrid.
I mean, she would look right at Amadra. She can tell Amadra half undead. Why? As I said, I don't know what I would do in the outward. Do you have something that requires me more there than here?
I mean, that would be more your decision at this point. I can't think of anything particular.
You actually hear Rilla. She's like, wouldn't you rather be, alive than dead, though? I mean, undead, even in the service of a good thing or not.
Kriak giving her the side eye. Be like, okay, I'm trying to be careful around you.
I mean, Further Ones does have a certain bias. You guys already know this.
I know. I just,
I just imagine, meanwhile, Sarika's just all proud of his daughter over there.
Absolutely am. I stopped thumbing this book just to look proud.
She just kind of swallows and just simply see. I wouldn't know where to begin. It would be a large, strange world that I would potentially just simply die in, and then be unable to come back. Would I have any guarantees that I'd return as a specter again? I suppose is my main fear. I'm sure that Toth would be able to guard it in my absence, but at the same time, you can see that I would say she doesn't hide much of the emotion. It's like emotionally she wants to leave, but it's like at the same time she's kind of fallen in love, like just with the library, and she enjoys her role as Toth, even if it started as her being a criminal.
You're proud of what you do here.
It's weird to say that it's worthwhile because I don't know. My old life, I'd say it's not. This knowledge comes in and it's more like almost a drain, but it doesn't exactly go to the refuse, you know?
Waits for
sits here and
someone who
waits
needs it.
Right. And then of those 6 groups, I should say, that have arrived, it seems that all have found something directly useful to their causes, so, and to some, the answer to their prayers. Praise be to Toth.
Indeed.
She actually kind of pauses and walks, even though it's just kind of sitting there and has finished writing the thoughts of Dev and Delurio around. She kind of walks around carefully to stand in front of one of the Graven Guardians and simply just see. Would Toth be waiting in the boneyard for me? Because as much as I could imagine going and fueling whatever his will is, I would rather return here.
I don't know.
She seems to be asking the Graven Guardian, like she's speaking. Which, even though it seems to be of Anubis, but you don't hear any answer, but she just seems to look at it and seems to kind of, as if she... I mean, she doesn't just immediately walk away and pull her head away from it, but it seems to be like... It looks like something speaking to her. You can see the ear flick a little bit and her expression shift. Sarik, you can probably feel a little bit of a pulse of what feels like just kind of like that aura of law you felt earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually she's just like, yes, I think I would, actually. I may find, I mean, I would love to learn of the other gods and maybe find others to at least love and adore in their own right, but I think... I don't know. Part of me... She stops and looks to you.
Maybe you shouldn't view it as your past life and rather things you've already done. This life isn't necessarily over. Death is just another way. Whether you find redemption on there, I mean, redemption comes in many forms. Whether it come from getting your mortal life back or finding that servitude in light of someone that you actually wish to serve is something you'd rather do now. It's hard to tell whenever you're stuck here.
She looks back and just says, Toth is resistant. They said that I am welcome back here, but they keep alluding that I would find another, but not like... Doesn't sound like they're mad about it, but like that they're convinced I would follow another.
You find a purpose that suits you, I don't see why that would be a problem.
Yeah, Matra just kind of laughs. She's like, what if you found family? Like, you're here and alone, but what if you, like, found someone else outside? Like, maybe that's what it is. Toth isn't about... Like, and she kind of laughs and just... Toth isn't about keeping you for himself, girl. If you want to be here, this would be your vocation. And you can have honor in your vocation, but your life should never be your job. That is core to the Osirian way. And she's just kind of passionate about it. When your life becomes your job, you become a shell. A specter in your own right, she gestures to her. You'd hear just kind of like a little bit of a. But you just hear like an echo of a voice that seems to kind of hiss a little bit, but doesn't sound hostile or even sinister. Just simply just the use what you have learned, live your own life, and remember simplicity. At which nothing seems to outright change. What are you giggling at?
I mean, it just seems to me like that was a pretty big nudge.
Yeah, she kind of pauses and looks at that. Just see. That feels like direct, actually. Like you're telling me that.
As someone who doesn't have many social skills, I read that. You should.
She laughs again, but as she goes to shift to kind of face you, so you can kind of smile. You do see one thing though, as where she was gliding, and very clearly a ghost. You'd see in there was no pomp, there was no magical spell bolt or any of that. It just simply is. But you'd see that as she turns, she doesn't glide. As she goes to move, she just steps, and you'd see that she's solid.
Does she seem to be aware of it?
Not directly, but she's aware she just took a step.
Yeah, excuse me. And then I'm just gonna put my hand on her shoulder.
Yeah. Whereas before, if she touched you, she could will a touch, but otherwise, everything else would just simply pass through. You'd see that, yeah, it just seems like in a moment, be it Toth or her own will deciding to potentially leave, that she just seems to have now regained mortal form. Without, she kind of looks down to you, Streak, and then looks back and just. She kind of looks over towards the elevator, and the elevator's sealed shut, and you wonder if maybe she's going to not leave, but then it reopens, and it becomes apparent she's aware that the library still bends to her will. She's still the librarian, effectively, but seems like she has full right to leave.
Well then,
Looks like you get to keep your job.
kept your job, got your body back. I'd say you've been doing good work. Tap on the shoulder, and then I'm gonna, honestly, I'm gonna give her a tap on the shoulder. Then I'm gonna go scoop up Verloise, and then I'm gonna walk towards where I think Pharasman books are.
Yeah, Verla was like, as soon as she goes up the ladder and sees that it's a whole section on Pharasma, she just kind of squeals and starts reading some of it. It's clear, like, as much as she knows about Pharasma, like, there's probably plenty here she doesn't know.
I say a prayer.
Did you know she likes blueberries? Like, just like
I did not know that.
she's just like reading like random books and facts that might not even be true, but someone wrote it down somewhere.
Doesn't even matter. Absolutely indulge her.
Did you know Galarian is flat?
Yeah, apparently everyone who thinks it's round is wrong. And then there's this other planet. It's the only other flat planet in all of like the cosmos, and they call it Earth, which apparently means dirt. And just
Well, you see, it shows right here proof, and it says something like, "If I had an orange and poured water over it."
you just go into one section. The funniest thing is like since this is supposed to be like every subject sheet, you roll high enough, you could literally find like books on Earth, because keep in mind, Earth exists in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
And all I imagine is you go in there and you just find like not even a book, you find a brochure for like My Pillows or some shit. It's just that
You find like just one issue of One Piece.
Yeah, somehow it's still here. Like, how? What is it doing over here?
It's not even the first one.
Listen,
No, it's like halfway through the run.
listen, I need to find a book on Earth so I can finally track down that motherfucker who's ruined my life.
Could you imagine right now? If you could imagine right now, Koala, if your bedroom door opened and this buff, handsome, fire-haired man comes up and kicks you in the shin?
I'd be like, take me.
You're getting horny.
Yeah, I feel like you figure it out like fast enough to be like, okay, I roll for, and just see where it goes.
I just imagine Koala's in there and just looks at him, just be like, "Don't blame me, man. The girl running the show's over there. Like, here's your address."
No. Here's the
Just
thing.
very quickly edit the character sheet.
I know his weakness. I just run up to him and lick my hand and just rub it over his head so all of his hair disappears.
Then you get burned alive.
That's fine.
It's like, but you would know how much I hate that, you little son of a bitch.
Yeah. It's like then I'd be hot for one moment in my life.
I'm you. Aw, funny.
Also, what I was going to say is I'm very tempted to give your daughter the book of all of the fucking swear words.
Like
when they talk
Yeah.
when they talk Kiri how to hey,
Yep.
fuck you.
Yeah, just slowly just
I'm
put the
so,
book.
so here for it, actually. Like, it's fine.
Verla the little polite psychopath. By the time she's a Marigna, it's just over here, you little fucking bitch. Just like, oh my god, she's angry.
Like,
Actually-
oh, hey, look, it's Verlawas. Oh, what the fuck is up, y'all? I'm just like,
Riak, I thought of something.
Huh?
Something special about gemstones or gem cuts for our friend.
Which friend?
Oh, the dragon.
yeah.
Yeah, you probably find a good variety on that.
Yeah, nice little tribute to her horde.
Yes.
Should probably actually bring the book. Yeah, just bring the book and just show her. I'd imagine there's probably. I mean, since they let you copy, and even the other ones, with Jura's favor, the Guardians will even help you copy stuff to take it down in faster manner. Not like instantaneous, but you know they help.
Yeah.
That also reminds me. I actually have someone I want to try to find a book for too. But I don't know what kind of book they'd want.
A book on sand and how its coursing gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I will always stand with that one and just let my laugh that the like that literally was the last line he said before then not like here then it's smooth, but that was literally the seduction line. It's like that fucking Anakin what?
I need to find a book on how to on sand people and
Look, if you apply enough heat, it becomes smooth.
Technically not wrong.
here's the thing. I can't. My brain isn't processing, but my brain is trying to tell me that she wanted something, but I can't remember what she wanted.
Your dick.
Shut up! I know that. The other thing. There's another thing.
Swing and
Much-
a miss.
Thank you, Nikki, for the Amadroid art. Now Amadroid has character art.
Oh, we also have a official Indigo Mongeese.
We
art.
do. It's fully
Okay,
Yeah.
done right
that
now.
I
It's fully
feel like that
done
needs a better
process.
hand on that.
No, it's done right now.
No,
it's
it's
been fully
done.
finished.
Yep.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Is it the one you showed me, Nikki, or is there some worse one?
It's the one I showed though. We showed you.
It's done. 100% done.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Put that
no,
on
I
there.
liked it. It looks like it belongs on one of those jerseys, man.
That's what I said. I said it needs to be on a
I just
banner.
thought it should look better than that.
Dude, if we get, like, there's websites you can make to get stuff put on shirts. I will totally get an Indigo one. We need to get the white scale of that one and put it on there and just all wear it and just like,
Oh Christ!
dude, we could sell it on all of our channels. Just tell everybody, dude, wear it and post pictures of it. Indigo Mongeese.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
yeah.
It's so shit though.
Yeah, but I would want the mongoose itself.
I
to
didn't
be
see you
white.
fucking post it. God damn it!
I'd want the mongoose itself to be white and the shirt to be indigo.
That's what I'm saying, because
That's-
that's
yeah,
the design. That's how all those shirts
Exactly.
were. Those
Yeah.
all those shirts were the color, and the thing was white. And then
Yeah,
it
yeah,
sometimes it had a golden color embellishment. And so it's like that's perfect. That literally that one would work. You just changed the color to indigo and made it white.
Yeah.
And then we could literally go to one of those like shirt ones, have it made, and like that'll like they're cheap when you do it that way too. They're like $8. It's like, dude, I'll wear an $8 shirt with the indigo monkeys on. I'll fucking buy 3. You kidding me?
Now I'm just
Mongoose.
imagining
They-
the first time we meet in real life, we all hand out the indigo mongoose shirts to each other,
I mean,
and we
technically they're all gold, but yeah.
and we pose like the fucking what is it? The fucking villains from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, the Ginyu Force.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
Mongeese.
Mongoose.
Oh my god. No, what we need to do is then immediately set up some sort of moat-based challenge that we have to go jump in the water and do the dun 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 dun. Just all right, let's go. Some of those challenges were hard, man. You see kids that didn't even finish like one lap of it. It's like, oh man.
I'm just thinking we have someone dress up as the giant talking head.
Olmec? Was that me as the DM?
Yeah.
I still need to see the Legend of the Hidden Temple movie. I forgot they made a movie of that. Dude,
Oh yeah, they did do that.
we need to go to our special place and watch that together online. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Our special place, AO.
I've actually been there, as a matter of fact.
To the hidden temple.
I'm pretty sure Cursive brought me there.
Brought you to the hidden temple.
Yeah, Cursive brought you to our special place.
I think
Oh
so.
my.
I wiggles. I wiggles.
Wait a minute. Yes.
Oh, jeez. I hope Rose was okay with that.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey Rose, how you doing?
I'm gonna get shot in my sleep, and it's fine.
With your own gun.
That'd be an awesome one to explain to the dude at the gate. Like, how'd you die? Honestly, it was fair. Like,
Flip.
Honestly,
Flip it
pretty
into-
epically.
yeah. Let's put down clean. Don't worry about it.
Knowledging. We have knowledged.
Super worth it.
Precious. So am I allowed to read this Nethys scroll, or is this just like, for...
You're welcome to. I put it in front of you so you can read it. There's not a thing in here that's restricted.
I'm totally
If
reading
you
this Nethys scroll.
She, even though it was the one she points, she's like, but like, there's literally a scroll on how to become a lich over there. Not that I recommend it because it's a horrible process, and I may have read it just out of curiosity at one point, but just no.
To be fair, it is a curious read. Just calling everything.
No. If I ever want to become a dead, I gotta and just sees Verlois on the corner of her eye. Would never do that. No.
You just like the moment you said if I ever become an undead, it's not even anger. It's just like a little slump until you say that I would never do that. Like she just looks so
I'm
sad.
just disappointed.
Hobbs is
just-
just slowly reaching for the Lich book.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. What aisle is that in?
You gotta
Yeah.
find this big ass sword.
Listen, I would look hot with flaming green hair.
Sure.
All
Stand on
right.
hops.
I like how that's the reasoning for it. Like, let me
You just
destroy
go over
every-
there. You just go over there and you just find it's not even a book. It is the only. It's they don't think it's fiction, but you just go over there and it's just the paperback of the book Arthas. It's like, oh no. Just
It's on the same shelf, but very far away from the Sylvanas biography.
oh, that one. How to become a banshee queen? It's like the step one: get killed by the Lich King. Oh fuck.
Hey, well then.
She's just over here. Oh wait, Tarbafon? Oh no. Fucking Tarbafon, man.
Yeah, he ain't fun.
For you, Crix and Hobbs, Tarbafon is this world's Lich King, effectively.
Oh, really?
Kind of like Vecna. Vecna, but more Death Knighty.
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah, he big old top
Also known
tier
as the-
spellcaster.
He's basically the Whispering Tyrant. He's really good in melee and casting. He took literally, like, he's arguably the third strongest, but probably the second strongest thing after Robogug. Just because he took, like, literal armies, like this massive battle, and then they barely took him down. And his last words are basically a giant thing of, I'll be back, don't worry. It's like, oh, fuck. It was actually a lot of fun in one of the campaigns that's been completed, so we're not going to be doing it in the online one most likely, unless because like I'm kind of standing against votes for ones I've been done just because I'm like I don't want to run the old ones when there's so many new ones. But at the end of one, it's like the entire campaign's this lead up that they're rezzing him, that you're running out of time, It gets to the final thing, and then it's basically the cult leader's like, yeah, by the way, look at me, I'm the captain now, and basically takes all that energy for himself. It's like, oh, you
Oh my
motherfucker.
god.
And the funniest thing is, it points out, if he had actually done the ritual right, that would have just been probably the end of the world. But instead, he's killable. Have fun. But it also has a very specific ending. But anyways,
So like, are we What are we doing?
I figure maybe, let's see, we're looking at 10:30. I mean, we could wrap a little early, or otherwise, if you guys want to get on your way to the next town, you could. The one big one here is you may want to detour, your path already because you're taking a ferry over to the next town. But yeah, the big thing is, as much as you've had quite a few either well-equipped or well-funded because they were given a lot of money, the one big glaring downside of Dura is she has no money. So it's like she has like some baseline like stuff on her person, but otherwise, yeah, you'll probably either want to equip her or keep her out of combat. She's a librarian. She probably has some rogue talent since she said she was the rogue in a group of thieves. So at the same time, I rebuilt her as kind of the cloistered cleric.
Right.
It's fine. We're accumulating a small caravan of NPCs. I'm just going to take with us everywhere.
We should
I mean, that
still
she's
probably keep her out of combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like Toth is going to take her back and maybe just deposit her right back here, but at the same time, at that point, she probably won't be so easily rezzed at that point.
Yar.
At the same time, maybe Toth will be like, yeah, it's fine. Go and try again.
I mean, it depends on how cool her death would be, right? Like, if she went out backflipping off of a hippogriff and then, like, decapitating somebody, that'd be pretty sweet.
As long as she didn't die like really stupidly.
Right.
Yeah. Now,
She
if
needs
she
to.
trips over a rock and then just dies, then yeah, for sure, we're not getting her back.
I will
Just dies
say,
to heat stroke in the first day. It's like, maybe you should just stay in the shade, girl. You are kind of solid black. You're kind of just cooking in the sun.
Black furred, yeah.
Black for desert. Ugh.
Yeah. How does Char do? Oh, right.
Char is made of fire.
And if your Dev is black scaled, I imagine they probably feel that sun heat as well.
That's why I have a parasol.
Good point.
It's super fair.
But yes, you could easily start making your way back to town. You would find that basically this time skip just pulled you to the end of the full moon phase. It basically.
Is Theodore okay?
Yeah, how's your camel?
Well, animals can get along in the wild. It's a pretty easy check, but camels. Oh yeah, he can't fail that check. Baseline camel has a +8 in survival. It's only a 5. As long
Right.
as he's near something that would so.
He's
he's
right
near
near
an
an
oasis.
oasis. Yeah.
He would literally just wander back to the oasis, and I'm not going to roll for random encounters just for him. It's like, that's fine.
You
My
you
main
find
concern was
a few rock feathers.
Oh my god.
The vulture came back and just ate him.
Now I was thinking about that encounter the other day. I was like, it's fair that we could have just gone inside, which we did. But I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, we wouldn't have gone
you
inside. I probably would have just sacrificed our camel to some giant bird.
Could you imagine if no one made the perception checks and just were like, yeah, some vultures are circling overhead, it's fine. Oh, one swoops down at you, and then suddenly just carries off someone. It's like, Hobbs. Just see you, Hobbs.
It was nice knowing you.
it would have been me.
Yeah, you're the one that separated from the group to go jump in the water.
Separate from the group, and also you're kind of big, bright, and vibrant. I feel like they would be like, the only hope would be like, do they think you're fire and not food from a distance? Like,
Oh, they would have fucking learned.
They'd have been like, wow, these self-microwaving hot dogs are great. It's so cool.
Alright. But yes, the library itself is 10 feet wide, and you could easily, maybe not easily with Char, but if everyone but Char, and then send Char up, and yeah.
We just all ride on Char, it's fine.
Yeah, you could put some people on Char, and then he'd be able to take up to the squares, that's fine.
Yes.
But then I'll tag the other ones, because Deutera. And we can touch a little bit on the travel over, because it is just a ferry, so it'd be nice to get onto that one. But yeah, that completes the little side book of Toth's one. It does mean that, yeah, she'd be able to explain that she has vague choice of where it comes up, and it doesn't help you travel, and it will not move unless she actually leaves. Like, she knows before that she could leave, send her spirit out, but because it was left to basically choose the spots, and basically, like, she wasn't considering leaving, it never really was her walking out. She just would appear outside of it, and then choose a spot, and then bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, she has a set of rules. Like she is a very lawful individual. She's not going to betray those rules of where she brings it up. But it does mean she can raise this place, but she can only do it every so often. So she can't bring it willy nilly. So it's not going to just pop up because you're out in the desert and need cover from heat stroke. But every 2 weeks she can move it and basically draw it in.
Wonderful.
So at this
Pretty
stage, yeah, so think of it kind of like Figaro, except limited to effectively this desert. So, but yeah, she's not, but she'll have some Toth-based powers and such that she'll be able to offer, as well as I'm gonna figure out something. I'm gonna see if I can find some sort of roguey cleric or something, or maybe find like a oracle build. I'd love to give her some rogue talents, so give her at least some versatility in that.
Mhm.
Say, Nikki, what was that oracle build we were talking about earlier?
The dual cursed.
Yeah, just give her one of those. It'll be fine.
I've used dual curse to great effect. It's actually quite worth.
Yes,
but
I have too.
Yes,
That's
it's
what we were
nice.
talking about. Is that it's insane.
I will reroll all the things.
But all right, but back to the I wouldn't say proper, but the standard ones. Let me get to book 3. I love it. Moving at this one at a good clip too. Not quite as the speed of what is it? But at the same time that's every week. But the Star Wars. one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a fair comparison.
It-
we exit hot every session.
Yes.
Dude, I threw a Jawa on top of an AT-AT last session.
I threw a spaceship into an AT-AT.
You did.
You damn near blew yourselves up.
Yeah, I almost fell off Coruscant after almost falling off Cloud City.
I like how none of you consider what was in the barrel.
Nope, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought like they're gonna sneak up to it and then maybe like look what's. I mean, granted, you didn't have the chance. I bet if you weren't seen immediately with that 2 stealth and just the stormtroopers, they just said, "Oh fuck."
Blast him.
It was going to be a little bit more methodical, but then they were like, yeah, they were just like, Then I started blasting. And I was like, well, here I go, kill it again. It's time to get after it.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Like, just had to be that way.
All right, so just to double check, you guys are all aware that you should be 7th level. Make sure your sheets are properly updated. The cohorts are level 5. I will warn you for the sake of balance, so you know what you're dealing with as far as HP wise. Deutera, since she's not a leadership cohort, is going to be level 4, like your standard. So she is a little on the weaker side, but she has a rather potent power behind her, since she basically has potentially infinite scrolls to go back
Right.
and whip out every 2 weeks.
Nice.
We have our own library. Yes.
Also does mean when it is up, so people can get in and maybe find their way, and if they realize, oh, it's the last library of Toth, so you might just suddenly get a random like.
We just go
We
in and
found
find
it.
some gnomes just sitting in there reading.
Maybe you find all the guardian, like all but one of the gnomes are dead, all the guardians are dead, and the gnome is just in there just putting everything into one bag, and just Dura's just like, so can I ask a favor of you guys?
But that gnome's got to be pretty buff, huh?
I mean, or he just got the final blow on one, maybe his buddies. Like,
The old Rattata team strat, eh? The last man standing.
yes, Endeavor, quick attack, let's go. All right. So, very few details on Hakatep the First. You do find some, namely the information you find though is less useful on the mask itself. For you, Dev, the big stuff that was left behind seems to be stuff on Hakatep, and it's all like beyond his endeavors and work and anything that seems relevant. It seems to be like you find out about his personal life, like his first his first consorts and stuff like that, and it's a lot of simple stuff. It basically does give you gives you a nice sizable bonus to identifying anything that you know is connected. It
Sure.
basically gives you the foundation for stuff that would otherwise potentially be missed when you're looking in the other one. But
On his 5th birthday, he was gifted 37 cattle.
I was going to take a quick look at one thing. I was going to look at the cost of a level. She has anything up to level 8 scrolls in there, and since there are supposed to be duplicates, I was going to have her sell a single scroll and just simply sell it for gold to basically keep herself safe. That feels fitting. Yeah, so 3,000 gold. So she'll have not a ton, but she will spend some time in Wadi basically getting things, because she's not stupid. She knows that, moving through the desert, she's going to need a fair bit. So she's not utterly unequipped, nor do I want her to be a leech on your guys' gold. Not that she's a leech, but you know what I mean.
Right? I mean, I'm happy to help equip her.
I suppose what we can talk about once I get the sheet fully built, because I'm probably going to do a rebuild of what she was in case you fought her. Because she was just a specter at that point.
Right.
But alright, so otherwise you would know after that then that Tefu lies downstream from Wadi to the northwest. Just a short boat ride across the river. And there are quite a few ferries. As long as you're okay with going with maybe some goods and livestock over. But
Before we head across, I have a gift to deliver.
Yeah.
Anyone want
whatever
to come
you'd like
along?
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tag along.
Curious.
So as
Yeah.
Verlois can go.
I think
Yeah,
so.
Verlois would come along. Yeah, Verlois met her as the little bird self, so she'd probably be excited to. Assuming I know where you're going.
Yeah, I want to go and give the copied parchments to. Shoot, what was her name?
She was Shardazad? It was
Something like that.
Scheherazade. There it is. It's not very similar, but it wasn't exactly it.
Yes. Go and locate her.
Yeah, you see the little. At this point, she's got a small celebrity, but at this stage, probably just a couple kids playing outside of it, and you'd actually see the little crystal dragon, just kind of the little pink crystal dragon. Not that little. She's like the size of a horse, but but you see as she's kind of halfway out of her little antlion like sand hole, and just kind of scrabbling at the kids, and you worry that they're fighting, and you realize that she's just kind of playing at them. Seems that she's made some friends of some younger kids who are just mystified by the dragoness.
Making friends, I see.
Seeing you, she kind of lights up and just, yes, the human little ones come over and they love the shiny. They're bringing me shinies, and she gestures down to little glass figurines. One that actually seems to be a little pink dragon that looks fairly new. This one apparently has the wealth to share and has decided to add to my gallery.
Nice.
She comes entirely out of it and looks back at these ones. I gave them a bit of my gallery, and it helped end the gross humans that were attacking. The ones that were all, and she makes a face like that. Just the kids kind of giggle, laugh, and just kind of watch and look at all of you. One of the little kids seems to be a little like you'd recognize that he's half dwarven. Just goes, Mongeese!
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 He poses, does the whole archer arm thing. Just
I fist bump him.
He smiles and fist bumps. His hand is tiny compared to yours.
I take out a sheet of parchment and autograph it. And hand it to Griok.
I'll autograph it too, I guess?
I thought you were just gonna give it to Griark. Here you go. Don't spend this all on place.
No, I'm passing it around. Everyone's autographing it. We're giving it to this kid.
Yeah, I'll sign it. I'll hand it to. I mean, Verlois is a member now, so I'll hand it to Verlois and we just pass around.
I like my idea better. We're just giving it to you.
Just giving.
Here you go. Keep it.
I just stare at it confused. Thank you.
Oh, I love you too, Deb. It's just that confusion.
No,
But,
for them.
Verlois signs it with an over embellished V and then her name kind of along one of the legs.
Yeah, I'd sign it next to Verlois' name and have I don't know. I'd like doodle a symbol of like Magram on there. So why not?
Just a doodle of Magram.
Just a doodle of
I-
Magram.
Out of character, Amanchowit writes, "Have a great summer, Amanchowit."
I do the full fucking just sign as much of the paper as I possibly can.
Whatever open space is left.
Whatever open
Just
space
flat
is
out
left.
John Hancock's
Yeah,
this bitch.
John Hancock's the shit out of that page, and then does lights the very tip of my finger on fire and puts like
The
a little
worst.
like burnt heart shape.
It's the worst. This kid's like 10.
Yep.
The worst.
Oh, shut the
This kid's like 10.
See, I honestly, honest to God, thought he was gonna like flip it over and like use fire to like do like a singed mugshot of himself. Just
You gave me a better idea. Can I change my idea?
no.
No, I take the note out of your hand if you're done signing it and give it to the kid.
I was also going to say I apparate sunglasses. I walk past him. I say, "Sorry, no photographs."
Dura is just looking confused, just like
I heard a story about like a friend of a famous guy who used to do that. He used to walk, I guess he used to walk into like this famous dude's like, whatever, they're at a restaurant or whatever, put his arms around people, be like, go ahead, take it. Take the picture. That's all I can think about.
I hear Bill,
Like-
Bill Murray does that kind of shit to people. Just like walks up and like poses with people that didn't ask for his picture. It's just shit. Like I don't know if that's true or not. And if it is Bill Murray, number one, please post my shit because I'd die. But
I just want dancing lights to be behind me at all times to make it look like paparazzi camera flares.
No, but that story made me laugh really hard because the dude wasn't famous. He was just friends with a famous person, and he would just walk into restaurants.
don't
with
worry,
his
I know
person.
celebrities.
Yeah, he would just put his arm around people and be like, go ahead,
See.
take a picture.
So he's basically the Ant-Man of the adventure.
He would just be like, go ahead, don't worry about it.
It's that dude in Futurama. Hey, I know you don't have a reservation, but I'm the mayor's aide. Like we have open tables right this way, sir. Just that
Listen.
no.
I'm just gonna say when VTubing like goes big for one of you guys and you're part of like some sort of like industry brand or whatever, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna just show up everywhere and be like, yeah, I'm friends with Deckle, like fucking
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
We're our own brand. Come on.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, it's not happening.
I wasn't the OG, just that.
yeah.
But yes.
I was an original shit poster. Speaking of shit posters, thank you for Cobalt Velvet for following.
Dude. Okay, yeah, so we give this kid the autograph.
Yes.
Yeah. But then oh, I guess the kid could, if he has anything to say.
Yeah, the kid like looks at it and just cool. And he writes it. He flips it over to just from the back, just Mongeese, Indigo Mongeese, and just like kind of shows it to the other kid. Charizard comes scrambling out, just kind of squats next to you.
Hey.
Hello. Her eyes get just kind of bright. It's clear she's enjoying the positive attention as much as she. I mean, you met before that. She definitely has a bit of an ego about it, but it's not like in a toxic way. Not
Right.
terribly so, at least.
Fierce. Be
Wait, what?
respect. I said no, but she's fierce. Be respectful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We
Put some respect on her name.
we found something really cool, and we thought of you when we were there.
She looks over. A catfolk? Because I do have that statue of a catfolk, but I mean, I really don't need one for my actual living one.
Oh no. She works there. She works there.
Dura actually just starts laughing. Just I was, from the moment she asked, I was a little worried for a second, but I suppose.
No, she helped us. She helped us find this though. As I pull out the scroll with the, I guess, ancient gemstone arts.
Yeah, she goes look at. She's like, "Ooh, a pyramid cut. Okay, I've never heard of a rock cut. That's new. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I'm gonna need to find new gemstones." She looks all excited. I have to try it out. I need some raw gems. Raw gems are a little harder to find.
Thought you might like
I can
it.
trade for them. Oh, let's see. Let me find. music keeps stopping. I'm sorry, chat. Donate
Oh,
me, chat.
no.
Hate me instead, chat. Come here and send me your hate. I'm the fall guy.
Computer, no.
Wait up, my. What's wrong with the computer?
I keep getting this annoying system sound pop up.
No.
You know, as much as like I'm not as terrified as 11 as I am since the semi-forced update, but at the same time, getting used to all the different error noises, I'm like, what's that weird noise? I'm like, oh, my computer's having an error.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I have it on my most recent PC build, and like Windows 11 is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very weird.
I heard it's not good for gaming. That's what I heard.
Eh.
It's just
Yeah,
got
it
its
seemed to
own
really
quirks
impede it.
so far.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed anything that's impeded the gaming actually. So I can't. To be fair, I can't really say anything bad about that in that one. I don't like that it felt very forced, but that's my
Yeah.
main complaint. It felt like I was bullied into it, just like I was kind of bullied into the upgrade for 7, and so it's like. Not 7, I think it was 10. Whatever one that was like, we're doing it! And I was like, I hate you because it did in the middle of one of my games! Okay, wow, that is not what I was looking for, but I am saving that. That is awesome. I had one saved aside, but then oh, actually, I remember what happened now. But she does kind of postulate. I have something to show you. It's not really a gift for you, but it's kind of a gift for me, but it's kind of a gift, I suppose, maybe.
Huh, what do you got? What do you got?
Let's see if I can get back. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? But she goes to cast a spell that you'd recognize seems to be a variant of Alter Self, and she suddenly turns into what looks like a half-elven form. Very pale, and the eyes are very, like... If it's supposed to be blending in, it's not. Her eyes are literally glowing, and she looks... I mean, her hair's pink. She stands out like a sore thumb, but... At the same time, you're not terribly surprised. This girl probably doesn't understand this dragon doesn't understand the concept of subtlety.
Right. Very pretty.
But in the channel, I have it again.
Pretty cool.
Basically, I'll have to play with maybe something and see if I can get some official art if she ends up going along with anything.
Mhm.
I will say, out of character as far as traveling non-leadership companion, she's not a selectable one just yet. Because she's too high level, but at the same time, yeah. Seems like Sabti has made good on finding her a method to learn how to turn human, and then also might be why she's a bit more social, since if she's able to go into town.
Yeah. I'll have to go and explore town with you sometime soon.
She gives a nod and just kind of yes, I was thinking that, and then someone told me that the Mongeese have an official bar, and they said that I should go there, and then Sabti said I shouldn't go there with that.
Is that our bar now?
Yes.
I mean,
well, I mean,
kinda
it's
just
not our
started
bar,
going
but
there. We
But
don't
everybody
know.
No,
here
it-
only-
I
it's
mean,
our
we can
bar.
own it at some point.
Should we buy a bar?
It's our
We should
bar.
buy a bar. We should buy eventually. Not right now, but we
I
should.
mean, we still probably have enough money to combine to buy the bar.
We could probably. We shouldn't do this right now. We shouldn't. Yeah, you
Rilla
should go
was
to the
g-
bar without us.
Rilla was kind of smirks and is like, I'm pretty sure that witch might like hex like you all, maybe not me. And she kind of grins. If you started declaring it your bar, I think she might like. put a
no,
spell
no.
on
But
it.
it's the official.
See, but-
It's the official bar of the Mongeese. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. We need a
I think-
sponsorship.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think-
only bar we've ever been into. We don't know if it's a good bar in comparison to anything else, but it's our bar.
Actually, yours
you know
better
it's
too.
Awesome.
You went in the Fang and Hookah, and then you also went in the.
Yeah, the other
what
one
is it?
sucked.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
this one
the-
was
the
the
fa-
party.
Fair enough.
Fang and Hookah is the one with the witch, and then the other one was the Sun's Cloak. The Sun's Cloak was eh.
I think
Yeah.
Sarik would
It
be
must have
kind
been
of-
so far back that I forgot.
I think Sarik would kind of grumble under his breath, like, I don't think anybody would complain if that witch hexed us.
What?
It would be fine.
I know, I wouldn't complain.
Okay.
I think you might have heard a different word there.
Charizard just kind of blinks.
Oh, sorry, there's children around. Don't worry about it.
Earmuffs.
yeah, earmuffs.
See, it was funny though. Softy was worried that like the guy would take me there and like like liquor and that'd be a problem. But then I had to remind her like dragons kind of have a high constitution, and I'm also like like I'm pretty sure like liquor doesn't affect me the same. But all the same, it means the guy was kind of creepy, and which would screw him. Next time I see him, I'm hitting him with a breath weapon.
I mean, they can still get drunk.
Imagine it's like I'm fairly certain if you hit him with a breath weapon, he's going to, or they wouldn't call it the breath, with your crystal breath, like that could kill him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good idea to kill people if they're not like actively hurting you, but
Yeah, we should.
I feel like me looking at him would actively hurt though. It's just like, does that not count? She just grins and you realize that she's pulling your leg.
Okay. Well.
But you see one really heartwarming thing. She turns around to the two kids that look like they might want to like leave or like that maybe they shouldn't be here. The combo, but then she does kneel down and gives both of them a big hug. It's good that despite her magnificent level of ego and as you put fierceness, it does seem like she has a real affection for those that are paying her said as well. Kind of fledgling, probably little city-based or starling to be, but who knows where it'll go.
Are these kids like from Wadi, or are they just like urchins living in like the undead part of town?
No, they're probably still urchins, but these are like neither looks well. Actually, one of them looks decently well off. The other one not so much. But they do seem to, from how they're talking, they look like they're probably friends.
Okay.
But since one of them brought a custom glass sculpture, I can't imagine they're not from at least some level of wealth. Because that'd be a hell of a thing to have ordered that quick.
Right.
Just making sure. Been having a, just making sure.
But otherwise, she goes over to give you a hug for the gift. She's like, "Thank you so much. Is this a trade? You said this was a gift, right? Or do I owe you something out of my gallery?"
It is a gift because you are our friend.
She smiles wider and kind of tilts her head back as her smile is extra big when she's in the human form, as if her lips don't go far enough to make the grin she's used to. And then just kind of leads over to give you a big hug. And kind of actually wait, is Deb actually small, or is one of you?
Yes, I am small.
Yeah, so which point she picks you up and gives you a little bit of a spin and hug. Also, you become very, very aware of how strong she actually is with that, because Alter Self not only would not hide her strength, but also gives her more strength if you turn into a medium creature.
Yes.
So where to now? Have you come by to stick around here? Maybe you could see about buying this place, and you could live right above my house.
I mean, that would be interesting. I don't know if they're
Nevertheless,
selling land in the City of the Dead, though.
You're the ones shaking your head no behind her. It's a tomb. What? No, you don't live in tombs.
I mean, there's literally people living in several of these tombs.
Just puts her masked head in her hands.
But no, we have to go across the water. We need to find a library.
A different library.
Yes, a different library than the one we found.
Are you gonna be gone long? She actually looks a little heartbroken. Like,
I hope not.
It's clear, like within a moment you realize that Shardazad is a little possessive of you. Not in a way like, again, not toxic, but definitely I'm trying to make it that like it's clear that she has toxic traits, but does them in a way that's not really that toxic.
Right. She's adorably toxic.
It's a weird thing.
No,
She's chaotic neutral, and I hate chaotic neutral thievery edgelord, so it's like I had to think of a different chaotic neutral.
Right.
I don't think we're gonna be gone for like a super long time. We don't really know yet.
Okay, how long? Because if you go longer than you're supposed to be, I'm coming looking. Okay.
Well, now I'm afraid of giving you a number because I don't want you just roaming across the countryside or the desert side looking for us.
How much?
We're just exactly how long, but
we can send a message.
This dragoness is going to kick down the door looking for us while we're in the middle of a meeting, and it's going to be wonderful. She looks at her as like Charizard looks like she's going to get mad, but then just at the same time.
I mean, the message doesn't work like it does back home here. It's not going to reach.
Well, I meant like a letter.
Oh. Oh, okay. Like just little periodic letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a pen pal.
Exactly.
I don't have an address.
I mean, I think that if we send it to the temple, they could find you.
Yes.
She nods brightly. I still might come looking if you're gone forever. I hope you know that.
Well,
you
if
get gone,
if we get lost that long, I would hope that our friends would come looking. So yes.
I still have my one resurrection scroll, and I'm using. Which one am I using now? If you're all like dead and like no one go anywhere, I heard about that. Like they say, like they drag you away and they put you in a line, and you're stuck in the line for ages, and it's the first stage of hell. And like I'm taking you out of that. And you just see Verlois like the first stage of hell.
You see Griarg about to say something that seems Verlois like, I mean the
depends who you're destined to go visit. You know.
You know the you know that meme where
I
it's
mean,
the
she's
two,
not entirely wrong.
you know the meme where it's the two frames where it's like a person holding up their finger like they're about to say something, and then the next frame is the fucking
The finger going
And it
down.
goes down.
Yeah. It's fully Sarik right now.
If Verlois is like you can practically see the cackle raise, just like the. I get it's a long line, but there's a lot of people to deal with, and everyone gets their fair share. She's literally like just like.
She doesn't know, V. It's okay. It's okay. She doesn't know.
Okay. I mean, that's very sweet of you. And if it happens, I guess I trust you'll be smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah, you saying like there's a doubt? She just looks. That she doesn't look like she's kidding, but it's just.
No, I said I trust you.
Yeah, I'll get it done. Although I only have the one though.
Well,
I mean, some of us might be covered by other means. You never know.
right.
Verlois just kind of huffy, just going. If one of them goes down, I'm gonna be holding out. Like you can bet
Yes.
they're gonna be waiting for someone to come.
Yes.
So she's like, oh.
B will make sure we're there and waiting for you.
I have found myself in an interesting group.
Lodmore just nods.
Could be worse. We could be the worst kind of pious.
Interesting is a word for it.
Yeah, I mean, we do have this guy. He looks at Hobbs.
I mean, not to be
Finger
fair, but
guns.
I'm fairly certain a Crystal Dragon is the most interesting one of this entire group. And she's just kind of self-inserting a little bit.
I have hair made of fire.
That's fair.
I
If
mean,
there's
Kara
a
has hair
second,
made of fire.
if there's a second place, I do think Hobbs has it. And she kind of points at Hobbs.
Don't encourage him.
I drank Dos Headkiss. Clearly, I'm the most interesting man.
So you know what would make you
Non-sponsored.
more interesting? You need to find a little metal duck. I read about it in a book once.
I'm going. I'm going. I need to go back to the library. I need to find a book.
What about a metal duck?
In a
I'm
different
referencing-
game. In a different
referencing
game
an
that we're
entirely
in.
different DM's game.
In a different game that we're in, someone gave me a magical item that is a tiny metal duck. It's a statue of a tiny metal duck, and it has 3 charges. And
Per day?
Yeah, per day. And if you expend 1 charge, you summon 1d6 ducks.
Oh gosh.
Permanently. They're not summoned creatures. They're
Yeah,
real ducks.
they're just ducks. So the day after I got it, in my tent, I used all 3 charges, spawned 12 ducks, and then walked out with an army of ducks.
Oh jeez.
And literally just started posting quack.
Yeah, and we are slowly converting them to communism.
Wait a minute.
Don't worry about it.
It's not very cash money of you, sir.
Wait a minute.
Yes. It's all in good, like at least earnest fun for as far as like if it's not clear Charizard, it's not truly that bad. It's just she's clearly not socialized, and so she definitely sees herself like she is again the quintessential toxic trait of a player. Basically, she's the main character. Of course she is, even though she's not even with the adventurers. She's just it's me.
It's standard cute dragon behavior. It's fine.
Someone's gonna put a Link hat and a sword and shield in that girl's hand, and she's gonna run off to go do some good someday. But for
I mean,
now,
I found a sword at one point, or somebody else did.
Yeah, she has a big glaive in her treasure pile.
I meant the halfling team had a sword.
Yeah.
They did, and then they also almost all died.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are anymore.
Hearing you're leaving, she gives each of you a big ol' hug.
Absolutely.
The most precocious teenager that you've probably ever met, but otherwise, yeah. In any case,
I don't know. Called me second most interesting. Is that worthy of a hug?
if you stop and
She
hold,
can
she looks
always
at you.
demote you.
She looks at that and looks at you and just like, okay, you're the most interesting to me. Does that make me worthy of a hug?
I'll give her a hug.
Third most interesting now.
Stormy still wants me to ask for coloring books. We're out of the library.
I mean, you got the librarian with you. It's fine.
Besides, Stormers, they didn't even have green crayons, so he can't get his veggies right now. It's whatever.
I always love the video of the Marine who it's like, perfect in a care package from the U.S. It's a box of Crayola, and he whips out the white one, coconut color, coconut flavor, bites it. Thanks, kids. Just that. No. It's just that. Oh. Anywho, first, suffice since we're looking at 11, looking at 11:05. What we'll say is after assuming you're good on meetings and stuff. Any other?
Yeah.
You're going to another town, so not like you get any major supplies, but we could say any supplies you want to get here just to be sure. But the last little bit is just the ferryman. Just a simple, looks 5 silver if you want to take the ferry, which is much easier than trying to travel the rather large river that makes up the, what is it, the Serpent River, I think it is. Listed on the map. I'll pull you off back to that, and then we'll have the other map for you next time. But as much as it's tiny, do be sure to mark the 5 silver. NPCs will cover their own fares.
Alright.
But you're crowded on with a bunch of goods, people, and such, and you see waiting for you is the town of Tefu. Takes quite a bit of a relatively short trip, but let me take a quick peek. We'll do one little roll to see if you get a ferry encounter. Another 13.
And that's a TPK. It's been cool, guys.
Ferry
We
count
died-
as a ferry.
A Leviathan.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
I mean,
Or-
you laugh, but Rise of the Rune Lords. You remember Black Maga Deckle?
Yes.
You're level like 11, and they throw a level 23 at you.
What?
Black Maga. She's a legend. She's
What
a
do you do with that
legendary.
encounter? Do you just leave, right? Like there's no.
You basically have to survive it. Is because basically what the entire thing is basically the enemy forces destroy a dam. It's this great ancient dwarven dam, and they bust it. They bust it while you're there trying to kill you. And the problem is they don't know that Black Maga, this legendary, she's basically like the Loch Ness Monster on steroids. Because she's basically got a bunch of tentacles. Her main body looks like the Loch Ness Monster, and these tentacles go through dimensions, and they start grabbing you. But the problem is she got triple crit, and she's not immune to it. So they killed her. Deckle and their NPCs killed her.
Jesus.
So it's like, damn. And it had stuff for it. If you kill her, here's the stuff here's your XP, here's what you find in her gullet, here's what you can make out of her eyes. It's like, it was great. She's this big legendary creature that's actually arguably harder than the final boss, and she took an arrow to the face like a champ.
Insane.
But otherwise, you see that in Tefu, you see waiting at the docks is this, like, you see that at first you think that it's a smaller town waiting at the docks, and we're not going to go into it, I'm just telling you what you see on the approach. But otherwise, you realize that it is this massive horde of hawkers, peddlers, cart merchants. Like, it looks like you're going to, like, they are waiting for the potential people coming in from Wati. It'll be interesting. Beyond it, you see the kind of alabaster and high blue domes, gold pinnacles, towers around the buildings. As you realize that, well, Wati is a smallish town with a couple large buildings and definitely a stern Erasmus take with a very kind of what you need and live life sort of one. This one definitely seems to be kind of a more grand jewel of the desert sort of city. And yeah, that's where we'll start next time.
Alrighty.
Should be pretty interesting. I hope you guys had fun.
I
Sure.
did. It was good.
Yeah.
chat, I hope you guys had fun too watching us. We will be back next, at least for my sake, unless we do like an impromptu Saturday or Sunday stream. Most likely going to be back on Monday for more Star Wars. Or wait, no, is that? That's not canon. No, it's not.
No, we should still be on for Monday, as far
It's
as I
so.
know.
Oh yeah, it's my Sunday not stream game that got canceled. I can sleep in on Sunday morning. Yay.
Ah.
Not that I ever sleep in that much past noon unless I really buck up, but
All right, I'm gonna do a sign off real quick. I'll be back.
Yeah.
same. I'm gonna mute while I do one because I need to get better at doing that. So I don't.
Here's my sign off. Fuck off, chat. End stream.
Today's chat or today's stream was brought to you by the letter C. Woo!
Woo. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the library adventures, and next time we'll be on to a whole new city.